Nah, not
Good
really.
night. Welcome back to Tactical Chile Wargaming. Patricio and Charlie here as always. How are you, Charlie, today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad, man. People say that I'm going bald, bro.
Yes.
I see that is the light. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're going bald.
Oh, fuck.
Just
Don't
shave your
have.
head. Just shave
Yeah.
it.
Shave?
Shave everything. Wait, is it you know how there's the Brazilian? Is there like a
Yes.
Chilean?
Nah, there is not a Chile.
Or
Probably,
like
probably, probably if
shave
there is
your
one,
shave your ass
you,
cheeks or something?
yeah, something. Maybe your armpit. Some
Yeah.
shit is stupid
You
like
should
that.
get a
Yeah,
Chilean then.
you don't want that. Yeah, you don't want that. Well, it's been a while that we record. It's been a little bit complicated this last couple of weeks. A lot of work, family, planning
Someone
the next year.
someone breaking their internet.
Somebody breaking the internet. Yeah, fun fact, that was me. Um,
That wasn't fun.
no, it was not. But yeah, it's very busy at the end of the year. I guess it's complicated. Um, and also a lot of events. We have been playing pretty much
Every two
ev-
weeks.
every 2 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
when was our last episode? That was before the teams event, wasn't it? And then
Now was before, yes, after Lakes, I think, was that?
no, it was after the Carnage around the Geezers. We did a wrap up event and then we did the Wellington or the Manawatu event with Michael
The
Stewart.
one I want to.
Yep.
Yes, yes. So we
Um,
have been going on, and has not. Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's been the wrap
Oh
up
no,
of
we
the
did do a
Immortal
wrap up.
Chile.
Yeah, we did do
Yeah,
a wrap up.
Immortal
Yeah,
Chile. That was the last one that we record.
that's right.
Um, so yeah, we are back, and we are back with another review today. We went to the always fun Lake of Blood in Rotorua.
Yep. Shout out to Dave Lewy. He's been
Yes,
running the
sure.
event for over 3 years now, probably 4 or 5. I've only been to three. But yeah, fantastic event, lovely location. Always great fun there.
Yeah, we did actually a road trip with our friends Tate and Ryan. They you have seen it here in a couple of episodes. Um, yeah, it was interesting road trip.
Thanks for driving.
Yeah, I was driving. You guys were drinking, so I
We were
remember the
already
trip.
drunk. Yeah.
You arrived drunk. What was the good stuff, bro? I really enjoyed, especially when we tried to teach Tate about music,
Oh
and
yes.
and we start listening all the old classics. And Tate, you do you recognize this song?
Yeah.
And
Were
he's
you
like,
born when this song came out?
yeah, he's like, no, I don't recognize this one. And it's like, and this one, nah, and this one, maybe, nah, actually, no.
That was fun.
But
Bit
the
of
event was
karaoke.
cool, was really good. We really enjoyed. Is that we enjoy so much that we are going back this weekend for another tournament over there. This time is run by Rotorua Wargaming. Is the Voss Victory Cup.
Of course, Voss Victory Cup
Nice.
being the 1 day
Yes,
event to celebrate Chris Voss leaving Rotorua.
they are celebrating that Chris Voss is leaving Rotorua. How
Yeah.
much they love that guy that they need to celebrate that he's leaving.
Or how much they hate the guy they need to celebrate. I mean, 50-50 on the
Yeah,
four up.
that's for yeah, probably. But yes, another shout for the crew on over Rotorua. So we're going to be there. We are going to do a review for that because I think the list on that tournament will be something that we will need to
Are the list I
speak.
don't actually know if the lists are live because the list
Maybe they are
submission
live,
was last night.
and if they are live, will be interesting to know. We can maybe do a little preview,
Yeah.
but from the event on back on track from the event last 2 weeks 2 weeks ago. We have today a guest. He has been playing this event, I think, the last 2 years. This is the third year with very consistent um, results,
Yep,
except this,
always third place, and then he ruined that this
this
year.
yeah,
He ruined it.
decided to was time to uplift the game.
So let's welcome Mr. Josh Megchelse,
Megchelse.
Mr. I will win with my D tier army.
Howdy, boys.
How's that for an
Oh,
intro?
I was going to say, good intro there. Come and slap me with that bottom table. Lead it out the gate. Good. How are
how
we
are you
tonight?
doing?
Oh, good.
Good.
All good, all
What do
good.
you?
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you still painting Custodes?
Still building my custodies, yeah.
Building
Yeah.
Custodes. Oh yeah,
Thought I'd
nice.
better jump on the the best army in the game at the
Oh
moment,
yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
I've always
Dropping
said
that D,
Custodes. Yeah,
dropping the D tier and jumping to the good ones.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, bro. That's the way to do it.
yeah. I guess
How?
congratulations on
Yeah,
winning Lakes of Blood.
congratulations.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Like as you said, it was sort of a running gig of 3 years for third. But as you said, I managed to ruin that this year and accidentally took first.
I think the best part was originally you weren't going to make it, right?
Correct.
Because
Yes.
with the
Yes,
baby on the way, and you're going, oh, don't know about the due date, and we were all going to go and call ourselves Josh in different,
yes.
you know, with
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
playing Imperial Knights, all doing some, and then last minute you managed to free up some time and make it to the event and just
Yes. No. No.
casually take it
Definitely.
out.
Definitely a big shout out to my wife. Currently, yeah, very heavily pregnant. Probably within the week we'll have our daughter being born. But shout out to her for letting me go and play war dollies on the weekend. So it's always good.
Yeah, get some
And
practice
stay.
for the
Yeah.
real dollies you're
Yeah, that's the
about
one.
to
That's
buy.
the one. When I can have some mad tea parties, you watch out.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, no. So yeah, shout out to the wife for that regards. But no, it was cool going to the event as always. Like I say, I try and always go to Lakes of Blood. I've been supporting Dave for quite a while now. So, and as you guys said in the intro, it's always a good event, chill atmosphere, and it's always nice to kind of go to Rotorua. It seems like a good getaway to play War Dollies instead of just between Hamilton and Auckland.
Yeah. Yeah, I like having booking a place with a spa, so you can unwind kind of on the Saturday night. Just much more
Oh,
relaxed kind of feeling.
100%.
Except
Just
this time it was just pouring down with rain, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. I was going to say we got the
Yeah.
place, the accommodation. Obviously, all of us with the spa pool at Lord Paddo's request, and
No,
then
was
yeah,
not me, bro.
no,
Was Ryan actually?
I thought it was at your request, but
No, 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 no.
yeah, no. So we got the place with the spa, and yeah, as you said, it was pouring with rain the whole weekend, which is always good weather to play Warhammer in, but not for
Yeah,
having spas.
yeah,
Well, that was the fun part because we arrived was pouring raining that day, but the actual day that we were playing, the Saturday, was very hot, and
Okay.
the venue started to heat in the afternoon so bad that yeah, it started not to be fun.
Yes, so I suppose it's sort of one of those things coming into the summertime. It's New Zealand weather always
Yes,
gets
it's
pretty cooking.
very unpredictable.
So
But yes,
I
no, it
get
was a pretty good turnout, and there's quite a good spread of factions. So
yeah, there were definitely some interesting lists.
yeah, 100%.
Josh, so I guess coming off the teams event, I remember you saying you were going to play something a little bit different from Imperial Knights, which you've been really successful with. So what kind of made you jump back to Imperial Knights for this one?
Um,
Was this last minute? It was ready to go kind of thing, or
I think honestly, more so than anything, it was falling back on the pride of trying to go 3 for 3, 3 years for three, and take Imperial Knights again. So
was it?
I had 2 years of getting third place with Imperial Knights both years.
Yeah,
So it was sort of a God given that it was. As soon as I got the green light to go to Lakes of Blood, I kind of looked up at my shelf and they were staring aggressively at me, going, "You better do it." So yeah, I think it was more pride than anything. Other than that, I would have taken my vote in. So
yeah. Wasn't just after listening to Chris Voss's episode with
Oh,
the tier
100%. Chris
rankings.
Boss, Chris Boss, what's it, Gaylard as well, listening to their, all of them, as soon as they started trash tearing the old Knights, I was like, no, that's it. I've got to prove these fellas something. I've got to take them out. But, no, so,
Awesome.
no, I've always enjoyed Knights too. They're sort of an army that I can kind of gel with a lot of the time because I'm a bit of a thick one and don't like really tricksy armies. Knights, you walk forward, beat things up, and shoot things. So, but
Excellent. And Pato, what did you take? What kind of a spicy, technical, high skill cap army did you cook up this time?
um, the high intensity and high level of preparation for using this army. I had to do a lot of reps. Um, I think the level of preparation is near to 1,000 sons for this army, but I managed to crack the army at the end, and I play. Dude, I think the most complicated was to remember all those data sheets because that was
Yeah,
actually the big
you had quite a few
issue.
data sheets, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bunch of them, but yeah, I took Chaos Knight, um, 14 War Dogs, three data sheets. That was it. And my teacher, that was Charlie, told me you need to remember one thing: you cross walls and you cross walls. Go for it.
well, I mean, also on that, I don't really think you haven't kind of seen 14 War Dog lists out there much. It's usually
That
always
is
11 or sort of 10 with extras. So 14 is
yes,
quite a unique thing to see on the field. It's a lot of bodies with
um,
that.
I like
yes,
to
that
say Chaos Knights list 10 plus D3.
That's true. Yeah, I like that. That's
yes.
good.
So I'm
Yeah.
not going to take credit on the build of the list at all. Charlie was the one told me, oh, I have a stupid list. I think it works. It is interesting because you have so many bodies, and he explained me what the stuff is like. That makes sense. Let's use it.
You just did the old Rick
And
and Morty click your fingers, I'm in.
yes, but it is interesting because people didn't understand the list, and was people was also trashing the list. It's like, oh, this list is shit. And it's like, well, why is
Oh,
shit? It's
I
like,
mean, if it makes you feel any better, I went into a tournament with an army that everyone thinks is shit.
yeah, I know. When you won the army, yeah, you won the. But yeah, shout to like really happy and enjoy the army. It's a simple army, as I said. You don't need to remember many, data sheets, and it's three easy go, and you just concentrate to do what you need to do. I really enjoyed them. I'm 100% planning to play them at some stage more. So thank you, Charlie, for uh, make me play CK and use also the models that I had.
Can I have my carnivores back now?
No,
Well, I suppose also on that notion, then, if we're
yeah,
talking about that, Charlie, what did you end up taking?
I was thinking about a few different things, as I do. I always do. I was really
tell the
tempted to
truth.
run. I had 6 lists ready to go. One of those was Null Maiden, but I was talking to old Johnny Larson a little bit before the list submission, and he said he'd been having a lot of fun with Dark Angels, and he sent me his Dark Angels list, and I went, that does look pretty fun. So I changed a couple of things in it. I took a few more Inner Circle than he did, dropped some JPIs, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I took the Lion, 2 units of Deathwing Knights, 2 units of 6 Inner Circle, Judicia, Azrael, couple of Vindicators, some scoring units, and that was a good time.
Awesome. Yeah,
Lion is not a competitive unit, but he is damn fun if you can roll
100%.
3 ups.
If you make
100%.
the three ups, yes.
Yeah, yeah. No, he died
Um,
every single game, so yeah, I cannot roll 3 ups.
that's yeah. The other thing is that this event had kind of a prize for the best team. So you were kind of like incentivized to team up with three other players, and your overall best result gives you another a prize for or a trophy for that for doing that, which is
Yeah,
quite cool. It's really
yeah.
interesting.
I think it's Dave's the only one that does this particular trophy because it's not a teams event; it's a singles event. But you can, so it's teams of three this year, which was different. And what
I
he
think
does
it
is he
was
takes
teams of
the,
3 this year because the previous year when he introduced it, it was teams of 5, but people were entering in as teams of 1 or 2, and there wasn't really any teams of 5
okay,
coming in. So
yeah, yeah. And I really love how there were three trophies this year as well, so everybody got one,
yep,
which is really cool.
Yes, that was
Um,
cool.
but yeah, he takes the average place, he takes the placings of all the players in the team and averages them out, and I think the lowest average placing wins the trophy, right? And
The
as usual,
lowest? Oh yes,
well, lowest number is higher placing. So
yeah, yeah.
as usual, I was there to be carried because I lost round one straight in.
got it out of the way first day.
Yeah.
Well, um, tell us a little bit about your list, Josh. Talking about the list, but since you won this in your list was something that you have used in the past. Did you do any changes or any tweaks on the
No,
list?
I think this time around the big change was obviously because previously in the past, and as well with the big teams event that we played in with Chili Cow Cartel being our team that we run, but previous to that I was running mono knights, but this time around I decided to run knights with friends. So obviously I took 3 units from the agents codex.
Nice,
Um, so running with a Deathwatch kill team with all their shields and big bonking hammers, a navigator for having that handy home field 12-inch deep strike denial, which is becoming such a key piece nowadays in the edition with every Tom, Dick, and Harry having a 3-inch deep strike. So
Let me
um,
tell you what Chris Hamilton did to me with that later. His navigator.
yeah, and then obviously just a squad of voidsmen just to be some extra wounds for the navigator, and
nice,
but the core part of the list obviously being Imperial Knights. But for the allies, is I was running never leave home without him. The Lancer, Imperial Knight Lancer. Always nice to have a knight that you can reliably throw into most things and just sit there and roll fours. Um, but yeah, so I was running a Lancer, a Crusader. I've always sort of been pretty religious about my Crusader. Every list you sort of take him, just the amount of volume of firepower he can put out is still, I think, a no-brainer to take. Um, and I ran a Warden for my third big knight, so 3 big knights in the list. Wardens, I love in the aspect that they've obviously got the Thunderstrike Gauntlet for a big, big heavy hitting melee. Still have a sweet profile, even though if you're sweeping, it's sort of not ideal. But the main meat and potatoes of a Warden is the fact that all of his weapons have devastating wounds against anything that's not monster or vehicle. So
Mm.
obviously you can start going and throwing 18 shots from a Gatling cannon and his rocket pod and stubbers into any even elite infantry, not just chaff, and just throw mortal wounds out, like devastating wounds out left, right, and centre.
And it's not infantry keyword lock, is it? It's just
No, no,
non-vehicle
no. Just
ones.
any. The only lock on it is just it doesn't proc on monsters and vehicles.
Yeah.
So
So
you get it on
swarm,
mounted. You get it
beast,
on
mounted.
swarm. Yeah,
and that is very spicy because they when you're locked on infantry, that somebody comes, an imbecile comes with 18 Thunderwolf cavalry, and then you cannot do
Or
nothing about that.
18 wraiths, right?
Or 18
Well,
raids, yeah.
funnily enough, when we go on further on, I'll talk about the round that I played to win the tournament, round 5. Obviously playing for first place against the
Yeah.
Necron player with his list, and how he was traumatizing the entire tournament with Lichguard. But it turns out the
Oh, you mean my
thousand.
my first round?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The 1,000 degree hot knife through the butter is a warden to the
Yeah.
Elish guard.
Yeah.
So,
Was that? Should
but
we, Pato, you want to bring up round one and have a
Yes,
chat about our round one?
so I have that ready for us. So round one. Oh, sorry. Round one. Here we are. Josh, you started against Tate.
Yes, yes. Tate and I.
Ah,
There were hands being thrown from waking up in the morning, going to get breakfast already, as soon as the round was up and about it. So no,
I
it was
mean,
good.
you got a pretty soft round one. Just saying.
Wait to see Tate's response to that one.
Hmm.
But yes, no, I went into Tate round one, which obviously I was a bit 50-50 about, just because my last encounter with GSC was against Ollie from Australia at teams, and that gave me enough PTSD of OC2 bodies to send a shiver down my spine. But no, it was definitely interesting going into Tate because obviously I think he was quite confident into Knights,
Yep.
and I just think my must be my unorthodox play style with Knights that usually throws a lot of people off. So, but it's good. It's good. Tate's awesome dude to play. Good round one.
How did you manage to? Because Tate was running the
Outlander
the,
Claw, I believe.
the Outlander Claw, so
Yeah,
he brings back lots, very reliable, bringing back units. And you of course are just only what 7, 8,
I think I had 9 models. I had 3
no,
big Knights, I had 3 small Knights, and then I had 3 allies, so near 9.
9.
9 units.
So
Yeah.
how did you? What was your thinking there? What was your uh, how did you approach
Oh,
the game?
it's dangerous to assume there's thinking involved with me and playing Warhammer.
Yeah, I know,
Um,
but
um, so I think going into that, I sort of knew from playing Ollie at the teams because he played Outlander Claw also, which, as I said, gave me a bit of PTSD because I didn't. You have to respect the fact that they can just throw a cheap 5-man unit away on an objective and throw OC10 on an objective, and just the primary game is a very hard thing to achieve against Outlander Claw.
yep.
But luckily for me, sort of was I can't remember off the top of my head if I went first or if Tate went first. I got the weird feeling I think Tate went first. No,
Let me double check if we can see from the run.
And this was supply drop as well, wasn't it?
yes,
And
yes,
Tate
Tate
went
went
first.
first.
Tate went first.
So I think from what I remembered, yeah, this was that one with Tate going first. He went he was wanting me to go first because GSC rely a lot on the counter.
Mm.
So they see where you go and then kind of pile out. But for him going first, it meant he either had to commit to pushing up and trying to obviously counter what I'm going to do or hide. But I think he went a bit conservative on the hiding side. And in my turn one, I just balls to the wall, sent everything onto the midfield objectives and just literally just swamped it, I guess, and kind of put all my heavy gun platforms, one on each of them. And sadly, I think Tate fell into the generic thing that happens with the list when you run a Lancer is the old distraction carnifex kind of syndrome. You see a Lancer and you kind of overcommit to the Lancer when you should be kind of shooting the other ones because the Lancer is, yes, it's a big threat, don't get me wrong, but it's 99.9% melee. So if you're putting your entire army into him and he's sitting in the midboard, like that's beneficial for me as a Knights player because then it means my Crusader and my Warden with their gun platforms are just walking around free. Which which I think if I remember correctly, Tate sort of fell into that a little bit, which was it's an easy thing to do, and then it just allowed me to bully all the primary units, get a Crusader lined up on his casino cannon buggies, and just annihilate them, and then his anti tank was gone. Um, I think, as always with the Lancer, you do get a bit sometimes feel a bit bad with if you start continually rolling 4-ups, and then
Hmm.
also with the Nightly household, you start rolling some real 10-ass 6-ups. You can definitely feel bad sometimes with just not taking damage.
I've been on
That's
the
the other
receiving end
thing
of
you
that,
do.
so mm,
You take no well. You change depending on the opponent. What is your um, special rule? But normally I have seen you that you go mostly for the Philippine.
So knights get the feel no pain regardless. So what you're talking about is the oaths. So knights have an
Yes.
oath that they have to pick at the start of the game, which is obviously so regardless of the oath you pick, the knight household always has a 6-up feel no pain. When you become honoured by achieving your oath's parameters, it's goes to a 5-up feel no pain. But the two oaths you pick from is Lalo the Tyrant, which gives your army a hit reroll and a wound reroll for each unit. Obviously, Imperial Knight units, not allies. And to become honoured, to get your 5-up feel no pain and a couple of CP for it, you have to kill the enemy warlord. And then the other oath you can choose from is Reclaim the Realm, which your entire knight household, instead of getting the rerolls, they get a extra inch to their move, advance, and charge rolls
Ah,
and movements.
yes.
And then to become honoured for that one, you have to claim your opponent's home objective.
Interesting.
But
And which one
most
you pick?
most of the time, I think you kind of most of the time, regardless, you're always kind of picking Lalo the Tyrant because the rerolls kind of pay for themselves, even if you're not getting honoured. And like sometimes you have opponents that are heavily reliant on their warlords, like you go into World Eaters and Angron, obviously, or
Yep.
stuff like that. And it's either, okay, cool, you send your warlord out to do his job, or you're wasting 400 odd points just hiding from me. So it's sort of, there are occasions like that where it's good, but there are also occasions where, like, they'll have a little spirit seater dude if it's Eldari and they just hide the whole game and you're kind of like, oh well. But you still go for the rerolls anyway because rerolling a hit and a wound is pretty big when you have some heavy hitting weapons.
It's a straight up damage increase, right?
Correct.
Which is always good. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice. So Tate, I remember there was a lot of trash talking about this game.
yes. Yes, like I said, Tate came into it pretty hot and heavy. He was pretty confident.
He was also very hungry because couldn't find anything
Yes,
for
because
breakfast.
all you were feeding him was McDonald's fries, from what I remember him saying.
And carrots.
So
McDonald's fries and carrots.
carrots. Yes, that's it. That's I remember that his bag of carrots.
Yeah. So for
But
for our friends that are listening, Tate is celiac, so he cannot eat gluten. And the game, the actual tournament was not in Rotorua, was in a small town beside Rotorua. There was zero chances for him to find anything gluten free, so was
No,
not good.
there was a cafe there. I think he could have gotten something. But we all
Uh,
went to the pie shop. Like the tuck shop was like, I'm gonna have a mince pie for breakfast. I guess Tate's not eating.
oh yeah, true, true.
yeah, I also can feel a bit bad for Tate too in the aspect because my wife is celiac too, so I kind of understand his pain. That sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the ass to try and go out and get food and find stuff. So usually 90% of the time you have to kind of pre-prep stuff from the
Yeah.
supermarkets before going in and that. So
Right. Next time we'll pack him a sandwich or something.
yeah,
Gluten free bread.
that's the one.
Gluten free bread. That's the one. But
But
yeah, that was
so going into it, it was definitely, like I said, Tate was pretty confident. I think obviously he had the idea in his head and he kind of knew he had the tools to deal with the Knights. I think it was just a case of maybe just some tin ass rolls throughout the game and also just maybe just allowing me to be a bit too aggressive. I think GSC relied quite a lot on tar pitting. So
Yep.
the fact that I could get out there, clear a few things, and then jump on those objectives early meant I didn't have to worry about the tar pit.
interesting. Um, that was your round one,
What about yourselves?
successful
Round ones.
from the beginning. Charlie, let's talk about round one.
Yeah. So like always, I show up with a brand new army and list with 0 reps, um, and played James. I've played James before. First at OGT and at Lakes of Blood previously. He's always been a Necrons player. Um, and this time he brought the new Obesience Phalanx detachment.
Oh, the Obesus.
I
Yes.
said I didn't mangle that word. Excellent.
Well, I just sit
Um,
there and call them the obese Necrons because I don't know
yeah,
how to say
Yeah,
the
the Beast.
attachment.
the
The
obese
obese ones.
Necrons. Yep, the obese ones. So obviously with the last update, the Silent King got the keyword. So he benefits from the detachment rule now. Yay. And also any unit led by a noble gets the detachment benefit as well. So it's not a very commonly played detachment. They basically get an oath a moment type ability where they get +1 to wound the target, um, which they get to select in the command phase. And James was running, I think, Silent King, a Doomsday Arc, 30 Lich Guard, 2 units was 2 or 3 units of the Treyarch Praetorians, the ones with the jump packs, a smattering of the sort of scoring units, and a Treyarch Stalker. So most of his army, well, I think all of his army except for the Doomsday Arc, benefited from the detachment rule.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. So I ran, Deathwing Knights and Inner Circle, and 2 Vindicators. That's mainly my heavy hitting ones. I put the line in Deep Strike. Um, I wanted to play some rapid ingress stuff to see how he works. I had the fight first unit on the Judicia blob as well, and early on I managed to pull off this nice heroic when he oof, charged my jump pack intercessors with a unit of the 10 Lichguard with War Scythe. So I heroiced in,
Okay.
picked up 9 Lichguard. He pops Resorb, and he pops, and then he resurrected normally as well in his turn. And they went almost back up to full. I think he got like 6 or 7 back over 2 resurrection activations. And then he just basically chewed through my unit over the next couple of turns because I just couldn't clear it.
What a
Because
great game.
they have dev wounds on those war scythes, which is really scary.
Oof.
And yeah, um, the other side, the 10-man shield unit with the 4-up invuln jumped on the objective on the other side of the map. I managed to get Azrael into them, activated, popped everything I could pop. So 20 attacks from the inner circle going in, plus Azrael, plus sustain, plus oath, plus lethals. Um, I think I used the Gladius strat to get +1 to wound. So hitting on 2s, winning on 2s because it was capture lead within a circle, full rerolls, basically everything. Um, and he lost 3 Lich Guard. So
Bouncy.
that was kind of like, what just happened? Yeah, so that was an interesting game just to see how durable that particular list is, and I'm very interested. And we're talking about it afterwards. I said, um, it would be interesting to see if we drop the Triarch Stalker and bring maybe like a Catacomb Command Barge, like tweak the list a little bit, bring Death Marks instead of the Praetorians. That could actually become quite a good teams list, with the Command Barge obviously giving +1 OC to everyone. I think it was within 6 inches of it, and with another Resorb as well, could come into play quite well. But I think the best part of the game is when I deep strike the lion in, failed the 9-inch charge, got shot in the face with a Doomsday Arc, failed all the saves. He was left on 3 wounds left. I was thinking, okay, cool, he survived. I move up to try and tag the Doomsday Arc from behind and just pressure from another side. James overwatches with the Doomsday Arc, gets a wound through. I'm like, that's fine. There's no dev wounds in this phase. So I'm just gonna roll 3 up and that's it. Roll a 2. So no problem. CP reroll. It's a 3 up. Good chance of roll a 1. So the line after deep striking in, I think he scored me 2 points on engage. He just walked out and died.
That is always hands down the way though. If you
Yep.
CP reroll,
Yep.
it's always 99.9% of the time just with the dice god, it's going to be a 1 or a 2 again.
Yep. Exactly. But that was like, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the line. I hadn't really played something that that many points before. That kind of looks really good in the datasheet on paper, but realistically, when you try and get him into things, if you can't roll the 3 ups, he's just not survivable
That's it.
at all.
Yeah, if you can't roll a 3 up, then just don't take the line.
Yeah. What about
Pretty
you,
much.
Pato? That was my first game, 14-6, and I was ready to submarine.
Ready to submarine. I went the first game against Henari and the Dead Guard. As we explained, I was using the 14 War Dogs list. This one is 3 Stalkers, six carnivores, and five of the. I'm going to call them the what's the name, Charlie? The apple of the Discord. Um,
What?
the,
Warglaives.
the, the,
They're huntsmen.
the,
You had huntsmen.
the Huntsman, yeah, but they are the apple of the Discord because everybody says they're shit. The Brigands are better. Realistically, they are. But they did something different. So basically, your whole army has melee. You have five big meltas, five small meltas, two Gatling cannons, and you still have like nine indirect fire. Um, so going against Nari, he had two units of Dead Shroud with mortar, not with Mortarion, sorry, with Typhus and a Sorcerer, a bunch of scoring units, some Predators. Um, what else? The Lawn Mowers, the drones with the melee. Um, yeah, so he had a lot of units there, a lot of resilient units that they could also potentially hit you hard. Or the brick of Plague Marines, the fight first
Oh yes,
with the
with the double
free
grenades. Yep.
grenades. Yeah, yeah,
I
all of
mean, and
them.
also kudos to Hen. Like he has been sticking to Death Guard for a while. Like he's been getting
Yes,
the reps in with them. He's been
yes,
one of their loyalist players for a good time. Like he stuck with them through thick and thin.
correct. He has been playing the dead card for long. So went against that. This was my second game, I think, with the War Dogs. And I followed the instructions of my coach. Um, and I play, start popping wounds on the small units so I could do my battle shocks. And so he needs to use CPs there to try to auto pass or to, if they fail, they lose the objectives. So I started to get it. The primaries came, I think, earlier, which helped me. I managed to kill the small units of Poxwalker and the cultists with the cannons, the Gatling cannons from the Stalkers. And the problem was the two units of Tetron because there
Really?
was, well, he put them both units in the same side, this
Yeah.
together. So he threw 18 of, sorry, not 18, 12 of them. So the space that I had was not enough to connect more than two carnivores at the time. Because the map was the one that you have the base of the building, a small building in the middle, and you have the crates that are touching the edge. So you have kind of a T, and there is no space. And the objective was there. And this was supply drop. So that was the last objective.
Sure.
Oh, you rolled for that one to be the one that sticks around. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it's pretty
so the
rough.
one on this, if the ones on the side, the one in the middle, there is no problem. But since
Mm.
it was one of the side ones, that was an issue.
I
So
think that was the same situation with me and Tate. We ended up with it just so happened to be that the one that was the kind of the because obviously you roll after you've deployed, if I remember correctly,
yes,
don't you? With the
Mhm,
yeah, yeah.
mhm.
It ended up being that it was the one on the side with my Lancer. That was the one that was going to be the last one for the whole game. So I just literally just parked them on there and go cool. So yeah, I don't know, but those side ones are pretty rough when they become the last one.
yes, that was interesting for say something. So with two carnivores, I pretty much cleared the whole the other side because he didn't commit too much on there. So I killed the two drones. I killed a vindicator. Sorry, not a vindicator. bloody predator, and then I managed to do a rapid ingress for the one carnivore coming from the back, and that helped me to clear the other side. Or the but yeah, all the action was there. Yeah, I won that for 1 point, 11-9. Hands up for Henari. He put that strategy. He knew that he needed to commit because OC and the way that he could use those two units to block me and keep me out was the difficult part. So yeah, it was a tough game for the start. But yeah, pulled the win.
Sweet.
So you two
So
both on wins going to round two. Me on a little loss.
little loss, yes.
Which obviously,
Little,
sorry, I don't know if we did actually cover it with when you did the spiel about the team, the First Legion teams trophy is Pato, Charlie, and myself went in as the three man to this tournament for Chili Cow Cartel.
Yes, we
oh yeah,
we
we talked
we
all about it and didn't actually say we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
we were
So
entering.
yeah we won it.
it was us.
Sorry.
It was us three. And yes, going forward, obviously as Pato just leaked the info there, we took the trophy as for Chili Cow Cartel.
Yes. So the next round you went against
If I
what was
remember,
your
it was
name? Oh, Jake and
Jake.
Aldari.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
Yeah, that
rough.
was that was a bit rough, especially for poor Jake, because pretty much with Imperial Knights, it's as soon as you drop his three War Walkers, he just didn't have the teeth to do anything in regards to the big three knights just sitting and just out primering him the whole time. And I think, if I remember correctly, that one was a by bottom or top end. I think it was bottom end of about around three. He was pretty much 90% tabled. So
This was a take and hold six objectives one as well,
yes,
wasn't
yes, this is on with the split. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, no, that was a bit of a rough one for Jake because yeah, just as soon as you drop the bright lances, um, yeah, the teeth just drops with his list. He had heaps of action monkeys, which I'm sure that that list would have gone quite well into like an elite army or a horde army because he had heaps of bodies that put out a lot of attacks. They just weren't high grade attacks, if you know what I mean.
it?
So as soon as you drop the war walkers, there goes his anti tank.
That's yeah. That was rough, and Jake, um, yeah, got into you. That this round was very unlucky for him. And yeah, as you
And,
said, not
and
much
not
to
to
do there.
mention and not to mention his big blob of those what are the Eldari bikes?
Wind Riders.
Wind Riders, is it? Yeah, the ones with the shitloads of damage guns. But obviously being Eldari, they're quite squishy and they're 2 wounds a pop. So I have two Gatling cannons with 18 shots at strength 6, -2 AP, 2 damage a pop, and one set
Perfect.
of 18 doing devastating wounds, being the warden. So you just sort of looked and sneeze in the direction, and that whole big blob of Wind Riders disappeared. So
Yeah, and it's difficult to hide them with you being towering.
well, I think more so in that situation. I'm just like I said, I'm trying to remember. Obviously, with the baby brain, with the pregnancy coming up, and then I've kind of forgot quite a
Whoa,
lot of
whoa,
it. But
whoa!
if
You're not the one having the
no,
extra
no,
brain.
no. Well,
Come
I'm
on.
the one
Yeah,
running. I'm the one running around and all that stuff, and so bit foggy for me. But if I remember correctly, I think Jake got a bit hungry, bit bloodlusted, and wanted to go and wipe out a knight that was on a couple of wounds remaining, but forgot to fire and fade. So because he could have jumped them back
uh,
in behind. So obviously that
yes,
left them exposed, and then two Gatling cannons, like I said, just sort of mowed them.
yeah, that makes sense. Because they can kill the stuff if you pull all your shenanigans, the rerolls, you pull the no cover and all of that.
Yep, yep,
They can do damage.
100%. Yep.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah, so
that's
no, that was a bit of a rough round for Jake. So moving along, I suppose is Charlie. You're round two.
Who did I play round two? Hello?
I can tell you now. You play
yes. So
our good friends.
So Ryan and I have played against each other in tournaments. I think this was the third time. So first time was in Wellington, and I lost with Chaos Knights into his Ironstorm. And the second time was at OTT earlier in the year as well, where I lost with Guard into his again Ironstorm. And pulled some really good moves with his incurses with the what are they called, the mines, the
Yes, the mines.
yeah, the mines, and he blew up one of my transports in my turn in my movement phase, and I obviously was battle shocked. I couldn't charge, couldn't do anything. So going into this, I was like, right, this is redemption time. So Dark Angel off. He took a speeder heavy Ironstorm list. Oh no, he took Firestorm, Firestorm, Fire something. Um,
Yes.
so the Salamanders detachment, and he had an aggressor unit with a Gravis captain. He had a whole bunch of speeders. I think 3 Vengeances, Thunderstrike. He had a Repulsor. Um, he had Azrael. Yeah, just a Dark Angels Firestorm list, and it was pretty scary. He's got the 2 CP on tap, or 1 CP with a Gravis captain for the aggressors to do div wounds, and that's six 6d6 plus 1 shots with twin linked, and yeah, pretty good output. Um, but I've had 1 game on Gladius now. I know all the tricks. Um, I ended up going first, and I think I took Div Doctrine because I wanted to advance and shoot with the Vindicator. So there wasn't really anything else to do. I advanced everything in position and staged up to threaten the objectives. Deathwing Knights on the bottom, Vindicator went up the top, and managed to pop his Warwalker. His Invicta Warsuit, and that was the only thing in that quarter of the table. Whereas I had a Lone Up Lieutenant waiting to move on to that top left objective. So that was really good. The Vindicator managed to pop that. Um, and then yeah, with Deathwing Knights on the bottom threatening the bottom right, which was his expansion. Uh, that was pretty uneventful. Turn 1, he took his turn 1 and he flew all of the speeders over to the top to deal with the Vindicator. I popped smoke, and Ryan did not roll 4-ups. So, um, because I think he oathed the Deathwing Knights because he was getting out the aggressors to come and fight them in combat. He couldn't see them, so he couldn't flame them, but he was coming in for it was a reasonable charge, a 5 or 6 inch charge. Um, so he was lining it out. He's going, okay, I'm probably going to get the Vindicator, so I'm going to go charge the Deathwing Knights and kill them. So he oathed them, and then the Vindicator survived on 7 wounds because he couldn't roll hit rolls with 2 Vengeances, the Thunderstrike, and the Repulsor. And then when the aggressors came out, I reactive moved, and it became a 10-inch charge,
Oh,
and he rolled a 9. So he didn't make it into combat. The aggressors were now fully in the open. The next turn, I pop Assault Doctrine, and I managed to get the Lion into the speeders along with 1 unit Deathwing Knights. I got the Judicia with Inner Circle into his mid, which was another Invicta Warsuit. I got Azrael popping all of the tricks into his aggressors and picked up that entire unit except for the captain in 1 go. And the what was it? The Repulsor died from shooting from the Vindicators, and I picked up both Vengeances with the Lion and the Deathwing Knight. So, combat army, everything gets into combat, wonderful things happen.
yes, that's what you need. Unless
So yeah, that was the start of my bench warmer killing streak.
the bench warmer killing straight. So for up to now, we are 2-0 against bench warmer. Joshi got smart Tate, and now you smart Brian.
Yeah.
Cool bananas.
Although I think because this was an interesting one, lunch was after round 2 at 2:30 in the
Yes,
afternoon, 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon. I think Ryan was real hungry, so he just full sent wanted to go for lunch.
that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Pato,
Um,
what did you play into?
I play against orcs this round. This was an interesting matchup. The list was a bunch of war boys. Has some mega knobs in a transport. The war rig is the name of that transport.
The kill rig.
Kill rig. That's the one. Um, and he has the big no the orc that is on top of the bloody shark. What's the name of that? What, Charlie? You know the names. I don't remember that crap.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to tell. I'm going
The
to
weird
open
boy, the one
here.
that teleports people around.
Nah, no, he has the beast boss,
Oh,
beast board in a squeak saw.
the Squigosaur. Yeah,
The squeakosaur. Yeah, that's the one.
with a full unit of Squighog boys, right? The 6 men.
Correct. He has a war boss in mega armor. The weird boy, yes, he has a big weird boss with a 20-man unit, so he could have teleported. Beast Nagas, some boys, 2 units of boys, one of 20 and one of 10. Then a couple of trucks. Of course, Gretchens to hold the back. The kill rig, 5 mega knobs, 10 knobs, the full squad of Squidball, and the Stone Boys, 5-man unit of Stone Boys to do actions basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went into this one having 4 objectives in the center. I was like, orcs can easily I'll see you. I got the first turn, and that was lucky because he pretty much had so much stuff, and this was the quarter ones.
Search and destroy.
Search and destroy. Yep. Um, and he put pretty much everything there in the line. So I went first, and in turn one I got straight away bring it down. So use the Meltas, kill 2 trucks, and put some units on foot straight away, which was good. Pop some goons here and there to have that the battle shock tactics, and I start shooting the Gretchens. So getting rid of the Gretchens for me was the idea of he needs to put something else in the back because otherwise how he's holding, and it was taken hold.
If I remember
Worked
correctly,
well.
Gretchens are quite important in Orcs list, aren't they? Because they can generate CP.
Yes, on a 4
Correct.
up they
Yeah,
can CP.
yeah.
On a 4 up. So that was two killing 2 birds with 1 stone basically. So I managed to do that. I guess I had the control of the trading with the big stuff. He he called the war in my turn too, and there is me not playing orcs in a while. I seen a couple of things that I shouldn't have seen anything technically speaking. Killed a bunch of things, but he killed me back, and I couldn't have not seen anything. Just hold. He killed the same amount stuff, but then I just kill him back when he's out of the war. Um, by the turn 3, because we only played 3 turns, and that was I think the big problem here. By the turn 3, I already managed to kill the Megan Ops, the Squigsaw, and the whole unit. The Novs unit also was killed. So he had the big 20-man squad. He compromised in one of the flanks to take the objective from me. That was my natural expansion. But I was fine because I having the 2 in the center and the other side. That was a very weak flank for him. And I think if we could finish the game, I think being taken home and the units that he had left, because I had already a carnivore at the end of on his deployment zone, ready to charge those 5 jump pack boys that they needed to drop there to keep holding the home objective. I think if we manage to play the all the turns, I should have won that. But we ended up playing only 3 turns, and we got a 10-10 there.
I
Um,
mean, I think it falls down to that situation where sometimes you do feel bad about telling your opponent that you're going to be jumping on a chess clock, but I mean, realistically, there are just factions and armies out there that it's sort of a default just to jump on a chess clock.
yes, yeah.
Orcs
Oh,
definitely being one of them. Like, you know,
Works is one of them. But for
Nah,
me, to be honest,
14 War Dogs. You always clock the 14 War Dog guy.
with those mighty 3 data sheets.
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah,
they actually we talk about, oh, you could have used a clock. I don't know, the event had that vibe for me at least. I was going to have fun, taste this list that Charlie provide. So I did that. I know that
yeah.
if I clock him
Stop
and I
trying to
play my whole
blame the
through,
list on me, dude. Stop
I
blaming it.
don't
Like
blame the
the
I don't
whole
blame the
way.
list. I love the list, bro. I really, really love the
I
list. And if
wrote
I
it, I
have
showed it to you, and then you just took off with it. Okay, it's
well,
I
so
know, and if I
cycling on
have
from
to,
that, then obviously that was battle round 2. So after this, we all managed to scamper off and get a bit of drink and food in us before doing the last round on day 1 in the sweaty hot
yeah.
sun after all started heating up. So round 3
I
was the
will
last
I
one.
will say it here and I will say it now. If I play CK again and the points allowing me, I will play the 14 war dogs again.
No, mate, you
Uh,
just
Now,
need to take 50 nurglings. All right, stop.
yeah.
no, I was not 16. Doesn't matter. So round three,
Last round of the day.
Yes,
last
yes.
round
And
of the
by
day.
then we were all pretty burnt out and hot and sweaty and ready for a feed and a chill out. I think.
Yes. So what do you have a very intense game here,
Hundred
Joe?
percent, hands down. I can put down. This is probably against Dougie Boy. Love him to death. Played against him pretty much every Lakes Blood. I think now every Lakes Blood I've been to, I've always played Doug at one point or time in it. Um, and
I went to watch your game. It was bloody good.
I think now our track record between Doug and I is he beat me, I beat him, and now we've drawn. So we're 1-1-1 currently for Lakes Blood. But you know that I have to actually say, genuinely, that was probably one of the most sweatiest games of 40k I've played in a very long time. Both Doug and I were just digging in to try and just scrounge points wherever we could. It was just a massive slap fest between his Awakened Dynasty just not dying and my Knights just trying to bulwark and hold the line. And yeah, it was just scrape for points.
Now, Doug had some secret tech, didn't he? He had the
Yes.
something we haven't really seen before. The
The oh
Tesseract something.
yeah, the little weird little mini barges
Yeah,
with
yeah.
their special mortal wounds splash cannons. Yeah, no, they're definitely neat. They're a neat piece of kit, but to be honest, the actual outstanding part of that his army is the Scorpex with the characters, the Scorpic lords
Yes.
attached to them.
It's a
Like
staple for that detachment. Yeah.
it's just like right when you think you've got him by the ghoulies, they turn around and go, "Cool, this character's getting back up, and he's just gonna sit there with a 4-up, feel no pain with their enhancements." I was like, oh my goodness. I think he had one school pick lord which had that 4-up, feel no pain enhancement that I dumped a Lancer's shock lance, a Crusader's full volley, and even a Warglaive, I think, into, and only took it down to 4 wounds. And it's just a single Scorpic Lord. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on?
Falls into
But
fours is brutal.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
no, it's a brilliant list that he's running, Doug. Like they definitely put some good thought into it. But yeah, hands down, like it was a brilliant game of 40k. Like sweating for every point we could figure out.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, this round. What was the mission on this one, Josh?
If I
Let me
remember
see.
correctly.
I think you can see it here because we put it. The ritual. This
Yes.
one was the ritual.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it was this sort of situation where, like, I'd generate an objective and dig in, he'd generate an objective and dig in, but then it got towards sort of the mid game, round 3 and upwards, where he was just his expansion was a bit more than I could handle in regards to the fact of just Scorpic Lords and Scorpics running through walls, just bullying me off objectives. But I managed to just hold the line right to the bitter end, and it was my last turn with a Crusader where I managed to jump on an objective and complete a secondary that just managed to drag it into the high end draw. So
Very cool.
Pretty
yeah,
much, yeah.
it
I
was
saw that.
like I said, it's best 40k I've played in a while. So hats off to Doug. Like as always, enjoy playing him. But yeah, it was brilliant.
Nice.
And
What about you, Charlie?
well, you just had to draw Philip, which means he played me. Um, it was an interesting one because no, I was right there at the top.
Oh, you're in the
I was
top.
right
Oh,
under.
there
I
it
was
is.
right under
Sorry,
Josh.
yes.
Yeah. Um, so look, it wasn't someone staying with us in the accommodation, so obviously I wasn't going to win. Um, no, it was a really cool game. We had a lot of fun. There was just two combat armies slamming into each other, right? And the ritual being such a drawish kind of primary game as well. And look, let's face it, I did not build the list to score secondaries. I just wanted to charge people, and that's what we kind of did. And I thought, right, I could sit back, create my objectives, play real KG, just try and score as many secondaries as possible while avoiding the mega knobs and the knobs and most of the stuff. And then I turn one, advanced both my Vindicators out to shoot his kill rig, popped it, and then I was pretty much in the middle. Advanced everything out to stage up as well to attack. Again, on two fronts, which was a bad idea in hindsight. And then Philip came out with the Squig Hogs. And the reactive, I think I reactive moved something back, and he failed to charge into the Vindicators, which meant the Squig Hogs were sitting in the open. I had gone first this time, so he had to wire in my turn as well. But then I was after turn one, I was feeling pretty good. He's got exposed units. I was in good staging positions. I've got my objectives created, and I was scoring a couple of secondaries pretty good. And then he called Wa in my turn two, and I just went, "You're calling Wa? Well, I'm gonna call Wa too. Assault Doctrine. Let's go." Um, and I shot I shot the Squig Hogs with both Vindicators killed one, I think, maybe half to
Oof.
one. I charged Deathwing Knights and the Lion into them. I charged Inner Circle into something. I don't remember what. Something at the top. Might have been knobs. Might have been. It wasn't the Mega knobs. It wasn't the boys. So it's probably the knobs.
The knobs, yeah.
And then I bounced so bad. Yeah, Deathwing Knights. Between two Deathwing Knights and the Lion, I think they killed 3 to 4 Squig Hog boys. I didn't even get to the knobs on Squigs.
Oof.
And yeah, apparently the Squigosaur is really good at killing the lion. So he
Again, the lion
it took
died.
took him a couple of turns because it was anti monster dev wounds or something like that. But
Does the lion have the monster keyword?
lion is a monster,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Bloody hell.
Same as Gorilla Man.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I had the 4 at Feel No Pain going, so I was tanking out a little bit. Um, I think it all went downhill because I had set up the fight first unit ready for the Meganobs to come out. And then Phil teleported the boys over
Okay.
into this tiny little bit, could
Come
just get the
on.
weird boy in,
Come
and
on.
then he had told me about this,
Oh,
and I
no,
was
it's
like,
alright.
oh,
I
that sounds like a fun gun. Don't
can
worry
shoot
about
off
it.
if I need to.
And he shot the weird boy, which has precision, flat 5 damage, single shot hitting on 4s, and he popped the Judicia
Yeah,
just just
that
just in
sounds
one
about
go.
right.
And
If I
then he
remember
charged the
correctly,
Meganobs in.
just because I'm obviously not really well versed in Space Marines too much, but the lion can give himself a 4-up feel no pain
Yes,
to
it's
mortal
a
wounds
it's
and devs and all that,
it's
eh?
yeah, it's a bubble, so he does get it. But it's just the sheer amount of damage coming in as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
I was
that
just
that
curious
weird
about that
boy is
because I do
huge.
remember
Yeah.
his data sheet that he gives
Oh
it
yeah,
4
yeah.
up. 4 up. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
he does.
So arguably you can walk around with a 3-up invulnerable, say 4-up feel no pain sort of ordeal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like on paper, he's really good. and then
Yeah.
he just dies.
Yeah.
No, it was a really killer game. We had a lot of fun doing all sorts of weird and wonderful combat things to each other. Eventually, I just ran out of stuff, um, and yeah, I think Philip in the last term managed to just get a bit more primary or complete one of the secondaries. Got that 5 points above, and pulled the win. It was a really fun game to end day one on.
And I mean, that's what you want at the end of the day, eh? Especially as you said, a melee army versus a melee army. You just want to slap fest. I mean, you just
Yeah,
want to be rolling dice and slapping each other, sort
yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't remember, but I think I actually didn't even kill the squig saw in the end.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
So
you
tough,
didn't. I'm pretty sure you
so
didn't.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Pedo? Round 3 of the day.
Oh, I got the list that I wanted to play. You remember that we were checking the list the night before, and there was a very funny list of Tau.
Oh, you talking about
The crude list.
the retaliation card, right? Because that's all people play with now. It was a red cat,
No,
wasn't it?
no, no,
No,
no,
it's
bro.
the best one. It's the best one.
That's the
No, yeah,
best.
as you said, it was a bit of a and hats off to the dude, man. Like especially for Jordan
Jordan.
doing that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
he had a crude hunting pack detachment, which I personally have never seen this edition being
Yeah.
played at all since it came out with them.
This guy
But
had the balls to play Crude Hunting Pack,
yeah,
and hats off to Jordan. There's so many models to move, and there's so many bodies that is crazy, dude. It's crazy. So we went into this game being the ritual, and me being 14 war dogs. I said, well, at least I'm not 13 or 12 or 11, so I have bodies. I can trade here. Yes, in this one I was like, well, if I had more Gatling guns, will be good because I can wipe faster the units. But I have melee, and in melee he can't do much. So I was confident that I can manage to work the things around. So he had Dark Strider on the back to kind of like do the bubble. A couple of crude fletch shapers, lone spear, the couple of trail shapers and all attached to units, of course, and then two ward shapers. So
I
all the
mean
characters.
it's a huge shame that God the Legends and disappeared into the dusts of oblivion as GW does, but they got rid of the Greater Canal Lock. Because can you imagine if he had a giant T-Rex chicken coming at you
Yeah,
as well? That would be glorious.
that would be
But,
So
glorious.
good. Yeah.
Then
yeah.
then he had a bunch of carnivores, crude carnivores. So one, two, three, four, five, 6 units.
And that's just their battle line, isn't it? That's just their
Yes,
battle line
battle
unit.
line, 20 man squad,
Phew.
and he put characters there, so they
So
uh,
6 units. So 6 units. So not even including characters. This mad lad is running 120 bodies of just crude.
up to their years.
Phew.
Then he had a crisis sunforge unit, 6 man, hammerhead, crude fart stalk, the fart stalkers. So there's a 10 man squad, a unit of rampagers, and then he has a couple of crew dogs rider by themselves and double units, and a unit that still suit to guide.
Hmm.
That's
So how
really
did you go into that? Because that's a lot of meat to chew through, especially on the ritual. How'd you go into
yes.
that?
So he put some of those units in the strategic reserve, and I knew that here the fact that I have melee with swipes was going to be useful, and then the carnivores to get the rest with the swipe and hitting on twos and twos.
Hmm.
So what I did, I sent the huntsman forward, kill the shooting thread. That was the part that I needed to get rid. So the shooting was not a problem. He did not have anything to shoot me after that. And then I used my Gatling cannon and the indirect fire, because the indirect fire now was really good, especially if it was not indirect. You are seeing them D6 shots plus 4. Um, so you can kill a bunch of them even with the carnivores. So yeah, again, popping up wounds in all the units, killing one at least, so they can battle shock. So now he needs to be careful where he is, so he don't have the OC. And I was like, well, I will create a cup with the stalkers. My objectives in the back, hold him, and then full send the rest of the army against him. The strategy worked because I pretty much pinned down one unit, wipe it out straight away, seeing on his natural expansion a couple of a handman and a carnivore in a pack, killed another squad, and by the end of turn two, I had already killed 60 or 80 of so three or four squad, um, plus the hammerhead and the Crutox, the rampage. Sorry, the rampage. So by the end of the turn two, when we were going to turn three, he was pretty much out of fuel. The hot was very hot, and he was like, "Well, I don't see where I can go. The strategy and the punch was lost." So he pretty much was like, "I don't think that I can win the game," and he conceded. So up to there, that was the game. Was a really interesting game. I was a little bit scared of the being RC and not being able to kill, but having those swipes in the carnivore and in the handsman work quite well for me.
And obviously, you do have to take a certain level of respect and understanding for players that do have the courtesy to concede sometimes. When like I've done it myself personally too against opponents where point in case at teams when I went into Dan Hayden with the Crusher Stampede. Start
Yes.
of round two, I just said, "No, mate, you can have it." Like when you can't roll a save and you lose your whole army and kind of pretty much a turn and a half, like it's nice to just sometimes turn around and go, "No, that's a one way street from here, mate. Let's just go and have a beer and have a couple of hours breather, instead of sweating it out for an
Yes.
extra hour."
Yeah, it was a shame. I think Jordan maybe another condition, or maybe he went first. He could have more of a chance or more of more fight there.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Oh,
what
sweet.
was that? So there was the um, end of the day. We wrap it up with carrying Charlie for the base team.
Yes.
My
Yep.
mighty 1 win, 2 losses.
Correct.
No.
And then the next day,
Next day, everyone had a little bit of
well,
sleep and dealt with the creakiest house I've ever known on planet Earth.
so
And
we had
probably
to.
hearing an earthquake at 1 or 2 in the morning, aka Josh hitting the stairs and falling over on the floor. Um, but
Yeah,
yes, no,
we have
round four.
interesting things on that day. You before we went to have dinner because that's another cool part. We with a couple of the lads over there from Rotorua and others, we went to have dinner all together. And you you and
Chris
Chris
Lewy. Yeah.
went back because you fucked up your back.
No, I was just having one of my old man moments with an old injury from my motorcycle accident. With the shoulder just seizes up and gets a bit bad, so I just went and drugged up and died on the bed, as I'm sure you guys all found when you came back home. Me just
Yes,
comatose dead on the bed. But
pretty
yeah,
much.
no, but it's always good. Like you say, it's always a good time. 90% of the time, when you don't have situations with me being a little girl and having to go and have a sleep. But going out, having at the end of the day, talking the stories, shooting the shit, having dinner, having a few beers, and then kind of having some fun times and getting ready for day two.
Yeah, that was very good. Was really cool to be able to share the table with all the lads, Chris Voss, Alexis, and the guys from Rotorua. Was really really cool.
And so,
Um,
obviously, coming into day two, round four, we kind of started to see the structure of the podium fights going, just starting to form as to where the.
correct,
Yeah,
correct.
I mean,
They
we're trying to work it out because WTC scoring, obviously there's people with
Yeah,
draws, and you might be undefeated, but I think going into round four, you and Paolo both had a draw, Doug had a
yeah,
draw. I think James was on 3 wins, Sterling was on 3 wins, and
yeah.
it's just like
I
we're trying to
think,
work out
as
who was at
far
the
as I'm aware,
top.
when we were going into round four, there was two undefeated, proper
Yeah,
undefeated, which was Sterling and James.
James, right?
And then there was a bracket of four, which was Hamish, Reeve, Pato, Doug, and myself. That were the next ones, sort of
The
scrapping for
2.5s. Yeah,
the. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, with the undefeated but with a tie.
yeah.
yeah.
And then you hit one of the undefeated, Sterling, drop
Yes,
it
yes.
down.
I got the joy of, because I didn't realise that I had more points than Doug in our draw. That cycled me into the pairing up, whereas Doug got paired down. So yeah, looking at that when I got the pairing up matchup going into Sterling, I was sort of brought a little bit of sweat to the brow because obviously he's playing one of the more meta guard sort of templates of a list. But yeah, no, it was definitely interesting. I think poor Sterling has now been the victim of my unorthodox Knights playing tactics twice. Where
Yes,
if I remember correctly, it was the Spice Must Flow GT. I
He was on
played
Drukari with the planes.
Yeah, played
Yeah,
into him there and kind of just did my generic balls to the wall. Knights don't care about playing tactically, just charge you and make pressure movers. And
mm.
I sort of realised with this list here, the guard list, after trying to analyse it a little bit as much as I could anyway, because I'm not very a well versed guard player or know much about guard. But
and you were in drugs that night, so you were not very aware of what was going on.
um, that is also true. That is also true. Very pain medicated.
All legal drugs, right? With prescription.
So
Let's
coming
make
from
it
you,
clear.
coming from you, I think they'll doubt that, Pato.
Yeah, because I'm South American. People will say, "Oh, this guy's bringing
Yeah, it's
some
it. It's it.
marijuana, cocaine, and all that stuff from South America." It's like, no, 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 people,
Yeah,
all
but
legal. Okay,
no,
glaucoma.
going into it,
Josh has glaucoma. Okay, sorry, Josh.
going into Sterling, it was my battle plan was sort of one flat plan with guard, which was if you shy away from them and give them board control, they will create their own kill zones and firing lanes, which guard just do on their own accord. So my game plan was just literally full send. Turn one, I think, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, Sterling went first. Wow.
You want me to check?
Yeah, because I'm just kind of remember which. If it was me, then it was I staged and then went, or if it was him. Yeah,
Yes,
it was
you
me.
went first. You went
So
first.
first turn, yeah, that's right. So I went balls to the wall, advancing all my dudes, running up and jumping behind cover, like jumping behind obviously buildings to block line of sight and stuff with my big boys. Um,
This
and
was
kind of
tipping point, wasn't it? On
yes,
that
yes, yeah,
table where you have that really
yeah,
nice staging on the
yeah,
left. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
So obviously just kind of spent my turn one not being aggressive. I think I picked up a squad of Gaunt's ghosts. I think they were. That was
What?
my.
That's loan up. Did he just pick
No,
so
well,
far forward? He just picked it up.
he put it far forward to be movement blocking, but obviously my lancer
Uh,
just ran up and kind of went have a shock lance up here, and
yeah, yeah.
um, so I managed to pick up a squad of Gaunt's ghosts. I think that was all I managed to do turn one.
Yeah.
Um, but then his turn one was obviously just as inefficient because of me hiding behind everything. He couldn't get the lines. And sadly, he'd sort of um, move blocked himself on one side of the table with a parking lot where his tanks couldn't actually get wholly within the base of the terrain.
Mm.
So
oof.
he'd kind of moved so they couldn't get up and get line of sight. Um, so that was a bit of a saving grace for me with the staging side of it. And then cycling into battle round two, it was just literally my lancer was just balls to the wall, straight running up. I think I got slapped with Overwatch, as guard does, got a little bit of damage on the way in, but luckily enough, in my favour, he had a Scout Sentinel. I don't think it was an Armoured Sentinel, but it was a Scout Sentinel that was like 1.5 inches away from his Rogal Dawn.
Mhm.
So I shot that with pitter-patter damage, got it down to about 2 wounds remaining, and then charged in with the Lancer, tank shocked for free, tank shocked it, and then piled into the Rogal Dawn, and then popped a Dawn. So it was sort of after that situation, it was just But like obviously the next turn, the reciprocation was my lance got shot to crap by everything. But then that allowed me to get the rest of my knights in position to just throw them at him and keep him in his deployment zone the whole game. So, and obviously with guard, if you can keep the parking lot from moving out, then you can just outscore them.
Yep. Yep.
And I think even though he was running the nice new little Aquilon toys that guard have, they're kind of pretty inefficient into knights. Like they drop down and go have this flamethrower up here and a couple of less guns and a rogue melter and a rogue plasma. So they don't really do a lot.
Yeah, they
I
struggle
mean,
to out OC you, right? If he's not in range to
100%.
do the order and everything.
Yeah. So I think that was just Sterling kind of got a bit shell shocked by my unorthodox just charge everything at him. I suppose being guard, you're kind of used to your opponent being a bit more respectful and hiding a lot more.
But I reckon that's the strategy against guard, especially with big robots, is you just run, because it is a pressure army, and guard hate forward pressure.
Correct. But so that was after finishing that game, it was a pretty big, nice relief knowing that I went into one of the undefeateds and managed to slap them around a bit with unorthodox tactics.
Yeah, securing your spot in the finals after that round.
Yeah, that was sort of lining me up for the round 5. So, and
Correct.
so jumping down obviously to Charlie, you're round 4.
You
Pardo's
went
already on the
forward,
screen.
Charlie.
We'll go with you.
No, you're here. Where you are?
I'm at the top.
This one.
No, I'm at the top.
Top better.
I can't.
Oh,
I
you
can't
were
beat Ryan
tilting.
twice. Okay, I can't beat
Yeah,
Ryan twice.
two trust. So you went against Chris Hamilton.
Another one of our bunkmates. He was running a bunch of Helverins, 2 units of Deathwatch, with Navigator and some Rogue Trader. I think his Warlord was a Rogue Trader with a retinue.
Really throwing off the meta for Imperial
Yeah.
Knights and taking an Armiger spam list, which is
I think he had 10 or 11 Armigers.
10 of them. Yeah, 10 of them. He had 6 Warglaves and 4 Helverins.
Yeah. I mean, it was tipping point. I managed to stage up. I can't remember who went first. And I guess I'm going to pick the highlights because this was a game I feel like I should have lost, but I pushed early enough and I just ran at Chris. I just ran at him. Stage up, pop the Stock Doctrine, try to push him as far forward. And like you said, when you push big vehicle lists into their deployment zone, they get blocked and they don't want to come out. I basically had free reign of the board to score
and the
die
only
her
problem
primaries.
being small knights as well, as they can't just kind of go, oh, excuse me, and walk over you when you come in. So you kind of can block them. Yeah.
So I was just yeeting the Deathwing Knights up and trying to tag as much as possible, and then having the line in a circle to go in and clean things up. But the best part of this game was I destruct the line. Chris turn 2, I rapid ingressed him 12.1 inches away from a cluster of 4 War Dogs. It's not War Dogs. I think it was
Warglaves,
2
so the melter
Warglaves
ones.
and 2 Helverins.
Yeah.
So it was a group of 3 or 4. And he went, okay, I guess I'm going to shoot the line now. I was like, haha, but I'm blown up because there's Deathwing Knights behind the wall with a 3 inches. So the line was untouchable. He went, okay, I guess I'll turn around and shoot your other things, which is fine. And then I went in with 5 Deathwing Knights. I went in with a Lion. I went in with Inner Circle on the other side. Just, again, pop Stock Doctrine, slam my entire army into him. And then I did the trick where, both the Lion and the Deathwing Knights charged the front Helverin. I was planning for the Deathwing Knights to pick up the Helverin, and then the Lion can then pile in and put 4 attacks into each armiger behind and try and pop both, if not, damage most of them. Because the math is swingy when there's a 6-up field opening. If it was 2 War Dogs, there's a good chance that he will just pop both.
Yeah, because I think he's Lion's AP4, isn't he, on his swing?
He's AP4, and then with
just no save. So you're
Yeah,
just
with
going
a
cool now. Yeah.
with the lance strat, he gets to hit on twos, win on twos. One of them is
Oh, that's right.
oath.
Gladius
Yeah,
has that stinking strat, doesn't it? Where you
yeah,
can just go,
yeah,
yeah, that's right.
yeah. And then and he has lethals as well. The CP reroll, like if it was two war dogs, good chance that he'll pick up both.
Yep.
Armages, I'm not too sure, but I kind of wanted, I need to trade up a little bit for him to
Yep.
survive the next turn. Um, Deathwing Knights leave the Halverin on one.
So obviously, poor old Lion has to throw everything into the Helverin. Yeah.
Poor line, put 8 attacks at AP 4 damage into the 1 wound Halverin, and the Halverin dies. And the line's like, I guess I'm going to tag a Warglaive because, why not? Um, and then, the Warglaive didn't do much to the line, to be fair, and he kind of sat in combat there. I was hoping I'll fight first. If he shoots me, at least it's -1, a bit of inefficiencies for the rest of the
Yep.
army. And I think the two Vindicators failed to pick up a single Warglaive that was standing on, like, sort of mid that was exposed, because Chris just rolled all the 5-ups in the world,
Good.
which is
Good.
great. And it was not looking good. I bounced hard. I was like, right, it's all right. I've got CP. The line's on full. Like, he's going to survive. Chris's turn, he comes out with a navigator, looks at the lion. Lion's like, cool, I'll roll a battle shock. I've got good leadership. Rolls double ones, gets battle shocked.
And then takes 3 mortal wounds straight off the bat, eh?
Takes mortal wounds, which I think I saved one, so he was down
Yeah.
to 8. And then Chris just goes, Chris shot a bunch of like the Halverin guns and stuff into him, got him down to maybe like a 6 or a 7. I was like, right, he's gonna survive. He's gonna survive, because obviously I can't CP reroll now because he's and I went, cool, he's gonna survive. And then Chris goes, cool, I'm gonna shoot a melter into him. Took a wound, failed the save, dead.
D6 plus 2. Yeah. Ow.
Just no, it's a big melter, D6 plus 4. Just like
Oh,
right
really?
in the face, just went straight through.
Yes,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the big melter.
yeah. And I was like, cool, the line, another game where he just didn't do anything. But I had enough inner circle survive that I could keep Chris sort of still in his deployment zone, and he couldn't come out and contest the mid where I was just
So just managed to
scoring
run away with primary sort of
primaries.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all
Yep.
primary. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What about you, Peter? Round 4.
Well, round 4, I went for Doggy Boy.
Ah, yes, you got to go into that glorious, glorious Necron list.
Yes, being the CK, you don't like the Awakened Dynasty. The guys come back and you pretty much don't have they have too many things to trade, and you start getting out of units. If you do stupid things, but I said, okay, let's play conservative. This is in my head. For me, this was a loss for. So I thought, let's play conservative. Let's stage. Let's grab my natural expansion and force him to come, and we will see what happens. And the other thing that I for me was like, well, doesn't matter if I shoot the indirect fire to the Necrons because they come back, so they are full health, so the battle shock doesn't exist. So I try to kill the little scarf to get rid of those pesky guys because he used them to tag you in combat, explode, do the mortal wounds, and then he charged you with the Scorpix Law, do more mortal wounds, and then pretty much kills one in a go. Um, so yeah, it was an interesting game. The amount of mortal wounds that he can do was really scary. I lost, I think, two of the war dogs not understanding that combo, and thinking back, I could have avoided that if I played in a different way. But um, I managed to come back. I managed to trade the huntsmen to get the carnivores in a good position, send them, wipe the squad of rides, wipe the two units of a small, the two small units of Scorpix Lord, and then something, I don't know. Oh, yes, I remember what happened. He teleported the Transcendent Catan in front of one of my huntsmen. He shooed the stuff to the huntsman, and then he moved the Catan to charge. I was like, well, there we go. Dead huntsman, nothing to do. That is what it is. He fails the charge, meaning that he couldn't pile him back into the objective, giving me that turn winning on higher primaries, and then I shot him with Melta, and he needed to send the big unit of Scorpion forward, the 6 man with the character, the 4-up Invul and 4-up Feel No Pain, send it forward. And the only thing that was there for trade was the huntsman. He killed, I think, one, and the other one was pretty much on one wound, like pretty much dead. Uh, I I took the sorry, I increased the two ones that I had in the strategic reserve, and the Scorpions don't like Melta, so I kill a bunch. Send I think it was 3 war dogs in the melee, and I killed them all. Killed the Scorpion Lord with the attacks of the carnivore, and he used the CP, bring it back. Oh, come on, dude! It was like, uh, also, yeah. But at the end of the day, the game was very even. I was getting away with the points because I managed to push the kills. Also, I managed to put 2 carnivores in his deployment zone, and being linchpin, I took his home objective for 2 turns, dropping his and making
And that really hurts your opponent if you can take home
yes.
D on linchpin. That is
Yes.
pretty clutch.
So I killed also a couple of scoring units in the back, so he needed to separate instead of keep going forward, needed to go back, and that gave me the breed that I need to consolidate the front, manage to kill the all the melee threat that he had. Um, but he got good secondaries too. At that point, I did not have enough war dogs to keep doing the actions. So I have a couple of draws where it's like, or I do the actions, or I kill the stuff that will kill me, and I needed to kill, and I couldn't do the secondaries.
Yep.
I failed to kill one character that low up that they shoot.
The
That
Hexman.
gave,
The old
yes,
Glocktopus.
Octopus.
that
Yep.
gave him in behind enemy lines.
Hmm.
Gave him deploy teleport homers on my deployment, and then I think was something else gave him like he scored pretty much like 15 points by himself. If I had killed it, I have the win there. So
Hmm.
Doogie thought that he was going to lose the game when we were around turn 3. At the bottom of turn 3, he's like, "Well, I'm going to try to scrap points here," because he's like, I'm fucked." And he brought back those secondaries, and yeah, managed to get the tide at the end.
Hmm.
All I
Yeah.
heard was you think 14 war dogs is not enough war dogs. We need to keep
No,
getting
you
war
need more.
dogs.
16 war dogs.
I mean, if
16
we
war
get to the
dogs.
points and situation where GW allows you to take 16 war dogs, I think we're in dangerous waters.
I will 100% play the shit out of that list.
Yes, I will
Right.
go. I
So
will go
obviously
buy all of them.
that was obviously round 4. So then
Yep.
cycling into the last round of the day. So the
Yeah.
final scrap, the final
So
hurrah.
I was undefeated, and when we went to lunch here, we thought that was going to be you against me, Josh, at some
Yes, yes.
stage.
Yep, but that was
But
also because I was unaware of James's success as well. I didn't realize how he'd snuck through with undefeated.
yes, so we were unaware of how was the whole stuff, and we went to round five. Give me a
Oh, cool.
second. There.
Let's go. Look at that. Beautiful. That was my favorite.
We were,
That was
we
the
were
that was
both.
the that was the that was the cream of the crop for the tournament of the year, Charlie.
That
Yes.
on the
So
top table, beating Tate. Love it.
so we went to this round, and you play against James. That was
Yes,
also
yeah.
undefeated.
Yes. I'd obviously playing into round five was playing for first place on my
Yes.
table, and yeah, like I said, I genuinely thought up until pairings that I was playing into pedo because I just hadn't been aware of how well James was bullying his way through the tables.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, round five, obviously a bit of a shock once it came up, and we were all sitting at lunch, and oh goodness, I'm playing James, like
What's in his list?
Necros
yeah,
again.
what the heck is in his list? Like what what does it do? And then obviously when the guys turned around and said, oh yeah, and this is only because I don't know how to say the thing, but then when it's the obese Necron detachment, and once again, kind of like the shell shock of seeing someone playing crude hunting pack. I've never seen someone play the obese detachment,
Mm,
so I was like, what the heck does that do? And the boys kind of gave me a quick ramshackle jig idea of what the list does. Um, so going into that, I was going into it a little bit blind, but obviously still having a bit of respectful PTSD from Doug's Awakened Dynasty. Um, but
yep.
yeah, no, going into it, it was sort of once we hit round one and we hit round one hard. Um, obviously, everyone so far through the tournament been struggling into those Lich Guard. Um, but then turning around with a Warden and walking up and getting a line of a Lich Guard blob that he'd moved up onto an objective. Um, turning around and going, okay, cool, here's your 18 shots from your Avenger Gatling cannon, and I think I hit with 16 or 17 of them, which was astronomically great. And then rolling the wounding, I rolled 9 6s, and obviously thin their ranks procs off the Warden, which is devastating wounds to anything that's not monsters or vehicles.
Ooh.
And it's 2 damage a pop, the Avenger Gatling cannon, so that was 9 Wardens just removed from one volley of a gun of a Warden. And then the rest of the guns, I think I fired my missiles off somewhere else and sprayed. I think I sprayed the stubbers and the heavy flamers into the Lich Guard and maybe picked up another one. No, no, I don't even think. I think I might have wounded the last one. But then yeah, I just ran in and tank shocked it and then killed them and then slapped the character. And so that was just a Lich Guard blob and friends removed straight away.
Holy
Um,
Nine
and
sixes.
obviously and obviously that was a pretty aggressive swing round one because I think round one I picked up 2 squads of those funky jetpack Necrons,
Yep.
um, one
The
squad of Lich Guard,
Praetorians. Yeah, the
yeah,
Praetorians.
those ones, one squad of Lich Guard, whatever his big spider was, the Walker spider thing.
The Triarch. Yep.
I think that must have been what it's called. So I picked all of that up round one, and also managed to get a round one charge off into the Silent King with the
Oof.
Lancer. So um, give or take, though, that was a 2 or 3 battle round scrap between the Silent
Yep.
King and the Lancer, just because you'd nuke a couple of menhirs through them failing saves, and the next turn the playback. Um,
Yep.
so
Sprint back. It's all good.
yeah, so it's but yeah, it was sort of that round one swing was heavy enough to kind of just turn it that he had no gas. So the rest of the game I just primary stacked and he got none, and
Yep.
then secondary I had free reign to run around and do what I wanted.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that was just literally just luck of the fact that for everyone else struggling into Lichguard, I had the answer in a Warden and rolled
Yep.
what I needed to roll with a Warden. And
Yep.
pretty much, turn two did the exact same with the Warden into his other Lichguard squad. And just, sort of threw devs aggressively around the place. Um, but Yeah, I think it was just a luck of filing down to the final round, fighting into James. Was I just had the tools
Yep.
that I needed to deal with what he had. Was
Yep.
sort of yeah,
With the
like
beers.
I was genuinely sweating a little bit thinking about 14 war dogs. So when I ended up into the Necron list and having the tools to actually deal with it, I was quite relieved.
You would have been fine in Tapato. I believe in you.
Yeah, I
We
don't
all
know.
believe in you.
I
I don't
don't
believe
know.
in me.
It's one of those things where with Chaos Knights, you still always have to be quite hyper respectful of carnivores and the other gentlemen that can run around with slaughter claws, because slaughter claws are just a huge swing between Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights. Like
Yeah.
if I could take a warglaive that had maybe, let's just say hypothetically, a mini Thunderstrike gauntlet that had the same profile as a slaughter claw, that would be brilliant. But
Yep.
Dredgy just
Yep.
yeah, because it's scary having little knights running around and wounding big boys on threes. Like,
No, they're strength 12. So it should be
are
fours.
they? I thought
Yeah, they're
slaughter claws
strength
are
12.
14, weren't they?
They used to be 14.
Ah,
They're only
right.
12 now.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
Right.
mean, he does have 9 slaughter claws. So
Yes, well, yeah, even then, they're still wounding big boys on fours is still quite like in combat,
yeah,
and hitting on twos is like, oof, oof.
yeah, yeah. It's really good.
In that AP3, aren't they? Or
AP3,
so
D6
you
plus
so
2
you're getting
damage.
thrown to
Yeah,
6 up saves. It's just
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah. And the
but
stalkers, if you yeet like the lancer out and he's by
hmm,
himself, the stalkers do wound on threes.
yeah, because they get the plus as characters
They
there.
get pluses. Yeah,
Yeah. So you know, I think that was sort of a pretty extreme luck of the draw for round 5 going into
yeah,
James. And yeah, just having the toolkit to pull apart his list, which everyone else struggled to, which was kind of
yeah,
nice. And obviously having that moment of realization that I've won first place, through this
yeah.
was pretty neat, especially after all the Gaylords and Vosses naysayers all throwing the Imperial Knights into the
Nah,
dumpster.
still D tier.
But obviously, it was cool. It was cool. But yeah, brilliant to finally win it.
The only one
Obviously,
that believed in you was still Steve Joel.
yes, yeah. Well, like I said, I think like I've said before, I think realistically in the New Zealand scene, there's only been two entities keeping Imperial Knights competitive, which has been Steve Joel and then myself. I think
Yeah.
everyone else sort of abandoned the apple cart with Imperial
Oh
Knights when
no,
they.
no. Logan plays Imperial Knights religiously.
Oh, Logan,
Oh
yes.
yes, sorry, yes, true. Logan Kane, yes, he's the bench warmer lad.
The bench warmers.
Yep, yeah. So
Oof.
yeah, sorry, I'll take that back. There's three of
And
us kind of continuing with the faction
yeah. And
in
if he
New
came, I
Zealand.
probably would have played him.
Yeah, exactly. Um, could have
100%.
could have scalped another bench warmer.
Yeah.
Um, but no, so yeah, and like point in case actually mentioning Steve Joel is sadly just because of my work schedule and family schedule and hospital appointments with coming up to Bubs' due date. I haven't been able to, but he's invited me on his specifically nights only podcast, the worldwide podcast thing he's doing. So haven't been able to get on it, but yeah, no, it's been quite cool. Obviously, taking a big win out with Imperial Knights. They're kind of
Yeah.
everyone's sort of going, oh, it's this Josh fella again. It's this Knights. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Getting a mention
but
in the Meta Monday thread, like the big robots taking out events. Yeah.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
and like I said, it's been good, and I'm quite happy. But I think I'll definitely be cycling off them for a little bit, and just because I want to play an army that'll stress my brain a bit more, I guess, in terms of having to employ a bit more tactics than just walk up and bully.
And you're
Um,
building Custodes,
yes, so I'm currently building my Custodes army, but I've
which is
also
walk up and bully people, gain pressure, and roll 4-ups. I mean, this is sounding familiar.
I mean, when you
There's
put it
that,
that when you put it that way,
yes.
it does sound like a very
Mighty
very close mimic. Hey, I
suspicious.
don't want to stray too far into foreign waters.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No
no,
GSC, no
yeah, no,
pre-run
no,
impact.
horde armies in my brain just aren't friends. But no, so I'm building my custodies just to have a bit of a breather from the big robots, but still have a durable bully army, as Charlie said.
Yeah.
But my other predominant army I play and cycle around with is Leagues of Votan, which I
Hmm.
quite enjoy because they do actually have a lot of nuance to them, and even though they are a very I'd like to say quite balanced army in regards to they're durable, they've got a good amount of shooting, but they're not busted in stupid regards to
Hmm.
like some other factions. But they do have a lot of tricks if you want to do well with them. Otherwise, they're a very drawish sort of army. They
Yeah.
fight for draws. but if you want to excel with them, you really have to kind of pick your list composition and pick your like strategies quite well.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've
So
talked
yeah,
about, when we always decide, do we want you in that defender role
mm,
running Leagues of Votan, or more of an attacker role running the Imperial Knights, because they can create the differentials, right? It's a
correct. But
good teams
and like
conversation.
100%, and like I said, Votan are still a very valid army to bring back points. Like, and I mean, weirdly enough, they're still. I think it's just the New Zealand meta side of things, but there's still not a large saturation of Votan players in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Michael's got some. Hen's got a Votan
yeah, I
army.
think you've got Ivan, Hen, Michael, and a few other guys plus myself that play Votan.
Oh,
Well,
Sean
that
Sullivan played them a bit
yep,
before
yep,
he jumped on Blood
yep.
Angels. Yeah.
But that's also kind of why I'm cycling onto my custodies as well. Is just
Yeah.
to have another army to see if I can actually I can't really say drag them up from the mud anymore now that they're the best faction in the game after the
Oh,
worlds,
clearly
you
the
know.
best.
But
Yeah. I'm
um,
so happy.
clearly
Win
we just
worlds
need.
by rolling 4-ups. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's exactly right. We need to go and talk to that Baron's a dice fella and order our own dice from him. If they just roll fours. Um,
Being able to roll fours.
but yeah, so no, cycling back. Sorry, a bit off topic, but yeah, no, it was primo. It was primo to actually win Lakes of Blood for once. So, in cycling back to that on my behalf is kudos to all of the boys coming down, you guys, and that. It was primo to spend the weekend playing War Dollars with all years, and obviously sharing accommodation was always good laughs and fun with all of us, and Pato snoring like a bloody Husqvarna chainsaw that's
Holy
been left
shit.
idling.
Yeah.
But
I
you know,
blame my losses on his snoring.
but yeah, and then me obviously falling over like an elephant at 1 in the morning, you're trying to go find the toilet. But no, it's always a good time. And as
Yeah.
said at the start of the video, kudos to Dave Lewy. He always puts on a good Lakes Blood. It's always quality.
Yeah.
It was a shame, obviously, about certain reasons and events that happened this year to make Lakes of Bloods turn out a little bit less than what it usually is. Um,
We're
obviously,
still
no
pretty
one.
healthy, right? 20
Yeah, it's
something
still
people.
still pretty
It's pretty
healthy,
good.
but obviously, I think the numbers would have been a bit more if there wasn't certain dramas that unfolded at that time frame. Um, but no, as always, Lakes of Blood is always a quality event. It's a nice, chill environment. People, as Pato mentioned as well, they're not there to be the real bloodthirsty, everyone's going for gold sort of thing. There are a lot of people there just chilling and want to roll dice and have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to talk about the trophies. The trophies of Lake of
Well, I
Oh,
Blood.
think
amazing.
before
Yeah.
before we cycle on to that, obviously we'll go into your guys' round 5. So Charlie's round 5 and yourself,
Yes,
Pato. So Charlie's round 5 anyway.
Charlie, round five.
So
Please talk
I
about
did not
those.
expect to play Tate. I knew it was going to be a good game because Tate's a great player, and he had played GSC into Dark Angels before. Because we played with Kobe, whose models I was using. And I think, funny enough, it was Terraform, and we
I
talked
Yes,
believe
about
so. Yep.
Terraform. You get onto the objective, you do the Terraform turn 1, and if you get it off, that's just 6 primary every turn for free, right?
And
Um,
sadly, it's one of those ones that if you do it, your opponent can't. So you just
yep,
if you get the edge there, then you've just denied them.
yep, yep,
Yep.
exactly. So Tate rolled to go first, um, and he moved a bunch of stuff out. So in the middle, he had a Kilomorph. On the top, he jumped was another Kilomorph at the top left, and then and he had the bikes as well. And then on the right hand side, he had a couple of his casino cannon ridge runners behind a wall, and he had infiltrated gene stealers, which moved forward and created a bit of a move block because I had inner circle and the line on the because it's a long waste map, right? It was sweeping engagement. That's right. So sweeping engagement and terraform, the two things we don't normally play. Um, and
Yes,
Bit of an anomaly compared to the
yeah,
usual WTC kind of structure
yeah,
we stick to.
yeah. So I had the line and inner circle on the bottom right. I had another inner circle in the middle, and I had Deathwing Knights kind of in the left and in the middle. The Vindicators didn't do anything that entire game because they was just in the wrong place and they had nothing to shoot. But going first, staged up, did terraform on all 3, came over and shot me with the bikes. I reactive moved so he couldn't bomb me, but he picked up my scout unit basically. But he was forward enough that my Deathwing can get a charge off next turn, which is quite nice. And then going to my turn 1, I kind of just went, you know what? It's round 5. It's Tate. Fuck it. Assault Doctrine turn 1.
So you just literally turned on your wire again from all the orcs you
I
played. You
wired turn one
yeah.
and just went for it. So on the left, I charged the Deathwing into his bikes and then managed to consolidate onto the objective, out OC the Kelemorph, who disappeared behind the wall anyway, the reactive move. In the middle, I advanced with Deathwing Knights as well. He rolled the d6 to reactive move the Kelemorph, rolled a 1. So I crushed the 7-inch charge and picked it up. And then my lone op lieutenant was on it doing my own terraform and other shenanigans. And then on the right hand side was fun. The Inner came out and I think I picked up most of the Gene Sealers and shooting. Um, but the key thing is the Gene Sealers weren't quite far enough to stop the Lion coming out. The Lion rolled a 5 or a 6 on advance, got the huge move, and basically went all the way around, getting ready to have a 4-inch charge or 5-inch charge into his 2 Rid Runners. And I had picked the funny Lion Vect, where if you use a stratagem, or if your opponent uses a stratagem close to you, they have to take a battle shock test. And if they fail the battle shock test, they still spend the CP, but the strat doesn't go off. So
And
Kate had a
you
reactive.
also gain a CP too, don't you, for doing that?
No, I don't get a CP. I have Azrael for a CP anyway,
All
so
right.
it didn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was hilarious because going, well, you can spend your strat to reactive move, but there's a chance that you're not going to pass your battle shock test and you waste
Yeah.
your CP, which you need somewhere else, and you could just roll like a 1 on your reactive move anyway.
Yeah.
And he decided not to do it. Lion got the charge in. Because the 2 Ridge Runners were the same unit, he just like cut through them. And he jumped on the objective, Inner Circle jumped on the objective, and I was in a very strong position.
So obviously quite aggressively denying his
Yep.
terraforming attempt.
Denied the
turn one.
terraform,
Yep.
denied the primary,
Yeah.
and then at that point, I kind of just pushed forward. And he tried to move, block, and out OC me as much as possible. And he went for the line. His turn 2 didn't kill it.
It's always a bit rough when you overcommit to something and still don't do it.
Yeah, just casino cannons, man. And then I did roll some 3-ups this time, which was good.
Oh, whoa! Settle down, all right.
Yeah.
Rolling 3-ups around here. What are you doing?
3-ups. But I think it kind of snowballed from there, where I had all 3 objectives. I was in strong positions. Once I picked up his wave 2, he couldn't deny me primary anymore. The middle Deathwing Knights managed to crush a charge into the Goliath truck behind the wall. And the line was close enough that he went for the -1 damage, because then the Deathwing Knights don't pick up the truck, and he failed the battle shock test. And the Deathwing Knights picked up the truck, moved, consolidated onto his home objective, and tagged other Ridge Runners. So now all his shooting was on 4s instead of 3s. And I basically cleaned out the top left with Deathwing Knights as well. He just couldn't do anything to the -1 damage for up and runs. And anytime he shot me with his flamers with the extra AP from Ridge Runners, I was just like, okay, cool, Armor of Contempt. The Lion and the Deathwing Knights, everything was saving on 2s. So I think by turn 3, it was pretty much over. We kind of talked through the last turns. I think we talked it out, and towards the end, it was just he was a little bit overly aggressive turn 1, and he gave me the charges.
Which I think was the same flaw that happened to poor Tate with me. Round 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously
he blamed it on carrots though, like having eaten only carrots
fueled by the carrots. He could see so well at night time, but the daytime just took it out of him.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. But I ended up the event losing to the locals and beating all of my bunkmates. So that was
beating the usuals, but losing to the irregulars.
Yeah. So that was all planned.
Part of the plan, but
which I remember correctly, at the end of the day, obviously I took first place, and you managed to get a respectable 5th place. I believe it was, Charlie. Yes.
Because I still scored quite well. My losses weren't complete blowout, so I managed to claw into the top of the 3 2s, I believe.
Yep.
Which is 4th place. I think it was someone with a tie.
Yeah, which is still like with how you did and how you went through it. 5th place is extremely respectable with the list as well.
Mate, it's what I do at Lakes. Is I'll lose bad to day 1 and then climb my way back to 32.
Brilliant. And then obviously going to Paddo, your last round of the tournament.
Yeah, what I wanted to say with this victory from Charlie that he actually did something this time to get the
Earn his trophy for the team.
earn his trophy for
Yeah.
his team.
Had to carry Pato. That's so heavy.
Harry Potter. What the hell are you talking about, man? You just did your job.
So
One
on that
job.
notion, though, what was your round 5, Peter?
My round five was an interesting one. A mirror
Oh, the
match.
mirror match.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I was not prepared to avoid was the mirror match. Didn't have the knowledge enough, and Amish has played the Chaos Knight very constant.
I mean,
And
let's be honest though, his list had one more data sheet, so that would have thrown you off completely, blown you out of
Oh
the
yeah.
water. 4 data sheets, you just don't know what's going on.
no, he
Nerdlings,
had
right?
no, he had three data sheet same as me, but we have different data sheet.
Oh,
You're
okay.
running
So
13 war
Interesting.
dogs.
We only had one data sheet that was the same. He had two different. I had
because
than me.
he
So
was running carnivores, brigands, and a
Oh no,
lancer, wasn't
he had a lancer. Yeah, that's right.
he? Yeah.
yes,
Whereas
carnivore,
18 small.
brigands and a lancer.
brigand, and a lancer.
Yeah.
Correct. He
Chaos
was
lancers always confuse me a bit. Like a
yes,
lancer is still a neat knight chassis, but just in chaos, I don't rate it. Because I think the big swing that makes Imperial Knight Lancers so much better is just the obnoxious 4 of Invan cycling into a Feel No Pain,
Yep.
whereas Chaos doesn't have access to that Feel No Pain.
They do in combat, so you can 1 CP get a feel no pain.
Okay, right. But
yes,
against shooting, they don't get a
Against
Feel No
shooting, they
Pain.
don't.
Yeah,
No.
okay, cool. So
yeah,
you can still suffer the don't make a 4 up against slapped by anti-tank.
Yep.
Yeah.
If your opponent, if the unit attacking is battle shock when you play the strat, it's a 5 out feel no pain, so it
Oh,
can be
cool.
quite obnoxious.
So in combat, they can definitely cycle onto it. Right, I didn't know
Yep.
that, so that's quite good.
Yep. Yep.
yes. They have that. But yeah, the mirror match was something that I was not ready for. Um, and to be honest, my approach to Terraform not being something that I had played before was also not the smartest one. I went first, so I was like, oh yeah, what I need to do is go and Terraform in the center. Wrong, wrong. I gave up three war dogs for free and start being out traded straight away.
So
Um,
you think you might have suffered from what Charlie said Tate was doing and being overly aggressive round 1, where you should have been a bit more conservative and waited for Hamish to play the moves instead of you.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
If I have done that, I'm most likely to being able to put this. Maybe I don't win it, but I bring it to a tie. But having more units to activate, if I am the one starting killing, I'm going to be the one having more units and be better in that case for the trading.
Yeah.
But I couldn't kill the lancer even if I put like 6 meltas or something like that, and when horribly wrong didn't actually manage to yeah to do the damage.
Well, I mean, in the end of the day, a 4 up is still a 4 up, eh? Like,
Yep.
if people roll them, just.
Yeah, I still feel for the
Yeah.
wounding that was I think was doing one of my 3 melta was going in per huntsman, which
Yep.
is very bad.
And you
Um,
you reroll once to win and once to damage as well. So
yes, one to
like on
wound and one for
paper, it's
damage.
if you rolled average, it should be okay.
Yeah,
But fours are fours, right?
no, I was rolling twos, which is unrerollable. I need the ones. I don't care the ones. Twos are poops. So yeah,
Yeah,
what
poops.
was bad. I still managed to keep it close because at the end of the game I had only two carnivore left. No, three carnivore left, and he had three plus the lancer. So yeah, that 6 point that I got there, I'm very proud of them. Uh, I managed to also put a carnivore up to his deployment zone, making him to have to turn around, giving me that little breed
Bit of breathing
to,
room.
yeah, breathing
Yeah.
room to grab a couple of secondaries and points out there. And that was made the difference, I guess, to being a 20-0 and a 14-6.
I
So
do think I do actually quite like what Dave's done here with a singles event rolling through with WTC scoring. So like, you know, in the usual singles events you go to, it's just a clean cut win or loss. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and it
yes,
doesn't really matter if you win by a mile or if you win by an inch. Um, but the WTC singles side of it, I find anyway, at least with how the New Zealand meta is going for playing, like we're going cycling to a lot more teams events, a lot more people wanting to play teams events, is having this sort of scoring system makes you, as you say, scratch 4 points. It makes you
yes,
hungry to try and see how much you can actually claw for. Whereas, like, you know, in a normal singles event, you're like, oh, I'm lost, cool, done, cut it, I concede.
yeah.
Doesn't matter. Whereas,
And
like, you know,
and for those really close games, you know, if you score just a couple more
yeah,
points, you can claw back to a draw.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
which is really good. But yeah, Hamish obviously won Lakes of Blood last year with
Yes,
Chaos Knights with the
yes,
Rampager and 10 Bulldogs, and that was the golden ticket entry as well. So he went to Australia with the Chaos Knights and did decently as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's a
No,
very experienced Chaos Knights player. Good job.
so this year round, I managed to knock Hamish back down the podium by one step and take his crown
Yeah,
yeah.
as the little as the jester in the court ascended the king's throne. But yeah, no, so it was good. And end of the day, I think what did you end up placing in the rankings, Pato? You seven,
That dropped me to the 8, I think.
eight,
Was
right?
yeah, was sad because at that point I was the fourth or third,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
eight.
dropped
Yeah, there you go.
8. Yeah, I think, yeah, if I get this one, that win, um, yeah, could it be higher? But it is what it is. It is.
Yeah,
Was a really fun tournament. I really enjoyed the playing the Chaos Knight and prove people wrong that it's not a bad list and it's interesting build up. In fact, oh no, I cannot say that, Charlie.
well, I mean, hey,
Yes.
you took it, you gave it a go, and you did all right with it. So that's at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Like it's as long as you had fun, that's the main thing.
That's
And
pretty much
like with anything Warhammer, it's always just a game of dice. So like you know, you win some, you lose some. You can't really go around with the world's best list, and if you're rolling ones, it's not going to be anywhere different of outcome to someone with a bad list rolling sixes. Yeah,
if you are even the top players had that problem.
hundred
Somebody
percent.
rolled more 4 ups than
Yep,
you
hundred
lose the
percent.
game.
But no, yeah. So cycling back to that, it was as always, Lakes Blood, brilliant tournament. I will definitely be using obviously once I'm allowed back from my hiatus of taking time off from 40k and spending time with the new child and the family and all that. When I come back, Lakes Blood will be definitely one of the tournaments every year. I'll be burning brownie points to go to. So,
Yep.
um,
100%.
and I mean, yeah, like all I can say is for the viewers of Tactical Chili Wargaming is if you see Lakes of Blood popping up on the Facebook pages and on BCP and stuff like that, and you want to go to a good New Zealand tournament where it's chill, everyone's there to have fun, it's a great environment, 100%, just come along, have a try.
100% agree.
Yes, that is my first time playing Lakes last year. Um, I think I was in the list, and something came along, and I couldn't travel. It was really bad. And then the one that was going to be there was one that was moved because of COVID. Um, that was going to be at the beginning of the year, and because of the lockdowns and all the stuff, they moved it to the end. And I was like, well, that date I cannot do it. So this is the third time that I tried to go, and I'm very happy that I managed to get to the Lakes of Blood.
Oh, it's all right. Going forward, Pato will still bully you into coming now every year.
Oh,
And we'll still
100%,
carry
bro.
you to best team. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
You still carry me.
No,
This
aside
guy.
from that, like I said, is thank you always to Tactical Chili for obviously bringing me on the stream and also for what you guys are doing with the community and assisting with the other clubs out there to try and raise the bar for what 40k New Zealand looks like. Um, yeah, aside from that, it's just
Well,
thanks for having me on. And
Josh,
going
it's
Pleasure as
forward,
always,
going
mate.
always.
forward, obviously when I come back from the scene, I might be a little bit rusty and have to blow off the rust, so you guys might be able to
Yeah.
scalp me a few times once I come back with my rusty dice.
You're
Um,
rusty guy. Now it's always it's always nice to play with you and have you here. Also mentioned that Josh has his own commission painting Holy Cow miniatures that is always sponsoring all our events.
100%,
Um,
100%. Obviously, yeah, with the commission painting, it's a bit more of a side gig because obviously I still have my real job that I go to every day of the week. Um, but you know, it's a bit of a side hustle for me, and it's been nice because obviously I enjoy the painting side of things quite often. I've won plenty of best painted in my time, but I enjoy the painting, I enjoy the challenge of it, and it's kind of a no-brainer for me to sponsor Tactical Chili Wargaming because I love what you guys do, you know. Um, but yeah, commission painting for me at the moment's been a little bit of a slow over the last sort of month, obviously just with the due date getting closer and closer and having to focus more on getting things ready for Bubs. But
Yeah.
hopefully in the new year, once it's all out and that, I'll be able to get back into burning the fuel and getting the pumping out the painting. So,
Mate, I want to play demons at some stage, so
oh,
uh,
100%. Like I said, I've still got your chickens and Scarborough and staring at me aggressively, going, "Hurry up!" As amongst other things, I think I've got Pato's sisters with me as well to paint.
yeah, my
Few
Celestine is there.
few other things as well on the thing. So yeah, hopefully after it's all settled down at home with Bubs and that, once that all comes along, I'll be able to start burning out some more. And I believe there's still a few lads floating out there with vouchers that haven't come forward. So hopefully we see some people that have won vouchers come forward and get something done. Or if not, that's perfectly fine as well. Win for me if they don't. Um, but
I'll go collect them up. I'm gonna
yeah,
collect the
I
vouchers.
fully
Yeah,
expect you one day just to turn up to me and go, "Here, paint me this army," and I'll be like, "Oh, it costs this much." You'll be like, "No. Here's these
look
vouchers,
at all the
mate."
vouchers I have. Yep.
But you know, yeah, 100% going forward. Yeah,
Oh
expect
yeah,
out of me.
because you are winning a lot of baseball, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Um,
I'm known for.
well, I mean, in all fairness, I'm starting to
Company fashion.
diversify the awards after teams. I'm not just doing best sport. I'm starting to diversify the sponsorship awards a bit more.
Yeah, the last two
But
were pretty cool. Yeah.
but yeah, no, going forward, 100%. Howling Cow will be standing pretty stalwart behind Tactical Chili Wargaming to try and support you guys and sponsor you guys as much as I can.
Yes, yes,
Awesome.
yes, yes,
And I
yes.
mean, hence the formulation of our team, 40k team, and hopefully we can start going a bit more abroad when it gets a bit more settled with Chili Cow Cartel, so the mix between Howling Cow miniatures and Tactical Chili.
Yes, that is the team that we have, and we are trying to build that team and keep nurturing players and bring it more experience and experienced player, but also new players, so they can get a hold of the system, learn, and be, give something else. Like it's not only go and win a game, win the tournament, but it's also about um, helping players to grow
100%.
and
Raising the bar of the community of the people that want to take that next step up and get a bit more competitive. You know, so it's kind of good being able to nurture players into higher quality players to kind of start challenging the top tables of the New Zealand scene. Um,
correct.
So what I'm
but yeah,
hearing is I don't need to play at the next one.
nah, no. I mean, after that, well, then again, if we're looking at the tables, I think it's Pato that's going to be sitting on the bench next time. Ninth place.
I'm the one.
Well,
um,
isn't he due for another kid next year?
yeah, that's it. That's
No, no,
exactly
I
right.
can't.
That's exactly
I
right.
can't.
But no,
That
yeah.
is
So
impossible.
obviously going forward as well. Probably the only other thing I got to jump in before I jump off is coming forward. There's going to be a bit of a partnership between Pato's other business, which is Corellian Factory,
Wow,
and Howling Cow
that
Miniatures myself, which will be
that
Pato's glorious terrain sets that he does. So he does
The
GW standard
pre-printed
and
ones. Yeah.
yeah, he does GW standard and WTC standard terrain sets. So going forward, there will be pre-printed he'll advertise at some point in time so you can see what they look like, and that's from Howling
Yes,
Helmet.
that is. Yes, we are, and that is interesting because we have not done it because there is also changes that will come there. There is some surprise there for the next year, so we are trying to put that for, I guess, those changes in the next years. But that is something that
It's on the
we are
card.
working.
It's on the burner, people. So obviously,
Correct, correct.
if you're thinking
So
about
that, huh?
diving into the terrain,
Yeah.
and obviously I'll always point at Corellian Factory because without going to Wayland Yutani and getting the official hard plastic bloody WTC sets of terrain, Pato does probably one of the best, I'd like to say, structurally integral and looking MDF sets in the New Zealand market. And it's very reasonably priced in comparison to a lot of the other stuff. But yeah, no, coming on the cards, there will be pre-painted sets once obviously everything
Yes,
gets sorted
hundred
out with
percent.
Service Providers. So
If you have watched the streaming,
I was gonna say, yeah, we've
um,
got the prototypes on the stream tables.
the
So
yeah.
stream table from Immortal Chile was all run with that table, and moving forward, the other streams that we are planning to do soon are going to be done with that table, and the new one that the other designs that are in the, yeah, in
So yeah,
the
no,
menu.
that's my last huzzah from the stream to just say that that's something coming forward in regards to the partnership between us. But yeah, thank you for having me on, boys. And as always, I
always a
appreciate that.
pleasure.
And
Yeah.
yeah, once I come back from my hiatus, it'll be good to start rolling dice and shooting the ship with you guys again. So I'll leave you
Probably
to it to advertise whatever else and pass whatever you saved on. But until
probably
next
Lakes
time.
of Blood next year, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'll see you guys then.
Let's get you your third
Lakes of
place.
Blood.
Let's go.
All right, team. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Have a good one.
You too. Catch
Thank
you, boys.
you, Josh. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, I need to kill him. Oh no,
Yeah,
I can.
he's gone.
That's it. Excellent.
Well,
Oh,
that is our wrap up review of Lakes of Blood. Another fantastic year. Had a lot of fun. Um,
yes.
but should we talk a little bit about our super dumb lists for this weekend?
Oh, please, whoever stay until this point
Kind
will
of
be rewarded with what we are going to show
with
to
some
them.
awesome secret tech.
Yes, this is the special flavor, I guess. Um, Give me 1 second, Charlie. I need to bring the sharing screen. Walls Victory Cup.
Did you realize there's like 30 people going?
Yeah,
I just looked
and
at the roster. It's pretty
and
cool.
and I realized the stupid thing that we are doing too. Cool. There
I haven't
is
actually looked at the list yet, but let's
me.
have a
Me
look.
neither. I'm hoping that people that we talk about this, they are sticking to
Yeah.
the plan.
So
So
Lost Tree Cup, we mentioned at the start, is a 1 day, 3 round WTC format terrain, Pato?
yes, we
I want to say.
are
Yeah.
we are providing the terrain.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's a little bit of a fun one that Alexis from Wargaming Rotorua has put together to celebrate slash um, be real sad about, I guess, with Chris Foss leaving Rotorua, moving to Dunedin. So like a bit of
Yes.
a farewell bash.
That
Um,
is hands up for she is doing really good and
yeah,
trying to bring more events to Rotorua. So that is a good thing to see.
yep. And I also don't know how I managed to get approval from my wife to go to 3 events in 6 weeks, but
Yeah,
another
I
road trip.
I know how I get that. That it is bringing the family to a nice hotel in Rotorua so they can have fun while I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be drinking all the way down. So let's do that
That's
again.
nothing new, but yeah, sure.
Shall we start with your list?
Yeah, sure, why not? Uh, so after a lot of debate of what do I run and trying to,
And this was on the drive back from Lakes back to Auckland. We were talking about what we
yes,
wanted to run for this one. And I think collectively we decided to make the dumbest list possible.
yes, and I did a very stupid list That is not this one because it was so stupid that I think there is no way to play that around. But my list, the first list that I did was pretty much the Avatar, Incarnate, and then every single epic hero in the Eldari Codex. So you have Karandras, Malgan Giant Sa, all the characters, including the Forge World, Prince Irel, stuff that nobody plays. So it was just characters. That was it. Um, and I was pretty I guess happy with the list or happy with run the list until last week. They at some point when I was like looking the list is like I don't think that I can play against some armies because we are not the only ones going to play. So there's people they're going to win it or try to win that. And it's like, well, if I hit one of those very competitive meta lists, I'm pretty much fucked, and I will not
Well,
be
that's the
able
whole
to.
point. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm going to be tabled in 2 turns. What's the point with that? At least I want to play and have fun. I'm not going to win with my list neither, but I'm going to play and I'm going to have fun. Then I built another one that was the Avatar, the Phoenix Law, and the Aspect Warriors. I played that one with Tate. Was not a bad list. Was interesting list, but I don't know. I didn't have. Was not that fun. And 2 nights ago, drinking rum with Charlie and bringing bad ideas and stupid ideas, we ended up with this list. So the list is. Oh, I need to. We'll need to re-share my screen. Sorry. Um, I think it's this one. So the list goes like this. It is two Digester, each one with an enhancement, the Weeping Stone and the Faith Messenger. This one is very classic, nothing new there. A second one, it's stupid, but why not? And then I have two Hemlock Bright Fighters.
I still think you should have gone 3.
I, if I could put everything in three after this, yes. Then I have a Sketch Right Knight, 2 units of Swinging Hogs to do something on secondary, so I don't go
That's your
zero.
third hemlock right there.
Yeah, that is my third hemlock. 100% it is. Right Knight, regular one, and then two Right Seers with D cannons.
It was supposed to be all wraiths and then double Death Jester.
That's all right, except for the Sweeping Hogs. But I don't have nothing. I needed to put two for my mental sanity,
Okay,
and I
okay.
couldn't do anything to. And the Sweeping Hogs have kind of the same helmet, so
Yeah,
fuck it,
okay. Sure,
is there.
sure.
So that's my list. What about yours, Charlie? Can I bring yours?
Yep.
Give me 1 second. Oh, here is Charlie, 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 Charlie. Where are you, bro? Oh, here.
Refresh the page.
No, you're not in
Refresh the page.
Greece. Why? What happened?
Refresh the page.
Not that one. Not the one that I'm showing.
Yeah, the
I'm
roster.
looking.
Refresh the roster page.
Oh, there is. Why? What happened? You changed your name. I now remember what happened. um. No.
Reshare.
Yeah. Give me a second.
My dumb list time.
War Dogs from Wish.
War
So
Dogs
this
from
is
Wish.
yes, from Wish. This is Space Wolves list, Iron Storm, and start with Beyond.
Beyond? Could I
A
have Beyond?
Cyber Beyond,
Yeah.
yes. With the Frost Cannon for the real Mimi here.
Yep. Single shot 5 damage. Let's go.
Yes, Cyber Wolf. Murder Fang.
Best dreadnought ever.
Yes. Ballistus Dreadnought. Ballistus Dreadnought. Ballistus Dreadnought. Here is the spicy.
Triple drop pod.
Triple drop pod. Storm Bolter.
Yep.
Important.
Secret tech.
Redemptor Dreadnought. Redemptor Dreadnought. Redemptor Dreadnought. Wolfen Dreadnought. Wolfen Dreadnought. Wolfen Dreadnought. Yeah, this is so stupid. I love it. This one
So
is very, very, very stick to the plan. You commit with this one pretty much in the car.
yes, I wrote this in the car and I submitted. And what did I change? I think the only change was no, I don't think
You
there's any
had
changes. Oh, I took out
no,
the vulnerable dread and I put a third wolfen dread.
yes. You have a different composition on the number of dreadnoughts, or
Yeah.
I think, but
Yeah,
it
I
is
think I
pretty
had a
much the same.
Brutalis before and I was trying to run Stormlance and but nah. This is this is better.
This is way better. The secret take.
Oh yeah,
And
that was pre-drop pods. That was pre-drop
yes,
pods. Yes.
pre-drop it.
Yeah. So who needs assault jump pack intercessors when you have 3 drop pods?
Correct. For 70 points. They don't need to have, and for the people that is listening and thinking, oh, well, he will put a dreadnought inside. You cannot do it.
No,
And the
normal drop
drop
pods.
puts, yes, normal drop puts, and the drop put don't need to have units um, because it's not a dedicated transport. It is
Oh, don't give everything away. Come on, man. That's the
no,
secret
just
part.
saying, just making sure that the people understand that the list is legal
Yeah.
and is
Yeah.
not
For literally the unit only transports things and drops them in. It's somehow not a dedicated transport. So
correct.
that
And
means you
I know
start the
why
game
it's
with a
not
unit.
dedicated transport. It's not dedicated transport
So you can't
because,
take 6.
yeah, GW didn't want people taking 6 of them.
Otherwise I would have 6. I'll drop a Redemptor for another 3 drop pods, mate.
100%. Yes. Yes, I will do the same. But yes.
One other list I want to bring up because we wrote this for Chris, and of course Chris is memeing his own farewell event.
Yes.
Let's bring up Chris Voss's list.
Chris Voss. Here we go. Don't talk to me, or my son again. So this is Monka, Commander
Pretty
Fast
standard.
here.
On
Yeah.
the fast side, yep,
Far side and the Enforcer.
yep.
A broadside battlesuit.
Single broadside, cool with the rail rifle.
Single broadside. Crisis battlesuit.
Yep, some nice
Ghost Kill.
crisis. Ghost kill.
Riptide.
hmm
Stealth suits.
hmm
Storm Surge. And Down Supremacy.
So we try to write the 8. You know how Tau used to be able to take the 8 as a kind of a combo unit. So we tried
Yes.
to recreate that, and we started with the biggest battle suit you can take, and then, well, I guess the supremacy armor is not technically a battle suit, but the biggest mech you can take, and then kind
Yes.
of work backwards and just took one of each in descending order until we got to the commanders and the stealth suits.
And this is what happened.
This is what happened.
Holy
So
macarons.
this looks amazingly fun to play. I don't know how good it would be, but yeah, I'm also taking that entire army down for Chris, so I'm gonna be taking a Tawana down to Rotorua.
Oh, you're bringing the whole army or the
Yeah,
town now.
yeah. Well, his tower's all packed up for the move, right? So I'm taking the entire army down for him,
Oh, I did not know that.
which I should probably pack at some point.
Uh, well, what time you're leaving tomorrow?
After work, so I've got time.
Tate, what time Tate told you?
Well, we'll see when he shows up. He's got to finish work as well and come from town.
What time he told you?
Like 5,
Um,
so probably 7.
yes, standard Tate time. That is probably 7.
Yeah. I'll
Just
clock
to
on.
clarify,
I'll put the clock on him.
you put the clock on him. I will
Black Hawk
laugh
shot.
so much if you play against him again.
I think he'll win this time. Oh, do you want to
Poor
bring up
guy.
Tate's list? Tate's list as well, since we're all memeing.
Tate, where's Tate? The bench warmer Tate. So Tate is keeping the Genestealer cult. So
Yep.
the French, but he went for Brothers
Brood brothers.
Auxiliary,
Yep.
Bread Brothers. So he have a Kelomorph and a Saboteur. That's it. And then just a bunch of acolytes with Hamflamer,
hmm
two Goliath
Two
tribes.
types.
The rich runners that in this detachment are really bad. They're really
5 ridge
not.
runners.
Yeah, but it's one with the mortar and two with the casino.
No, no mortar. It's just 5 mining lasers.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that is this is new. Okay, cool.
Maybe he
Hell,
messed up. Don't know.
I think he messed up. I'm going to message him. Um, Hellhound, Carskin, Carskin, Lemon Rose Battle Tank, Lemon Rose Battle Tank, Lemon Rose Battle Tank. I am
It's
sad that there is no Sentinels here.
yeah. We suggested he run 15 sentinels with his 1,000 points and
But
6 ridge runners. That would have been fun.
yes. But also we had another list for him that I think was too powerful.
The 34 GSC character list.
34
Yeah.
GC character list, yes.
Yeah.
That
We'll
was
we'll run it for
very
another
different.
event. I think we
Okay.
didn't have the models. We don't have 3 of everything.
I don't think that we have. We may need to combine you, him, and Ashley. Probably.
Yeah. I think between 3 of us, we should have it.
You may have them. Yes, that's
No.
true. But yeah, that's pretty much. We are going to that tournament on the weekend. Um, Next week we are going to have here the Steve Joel and uh,
Yes, that's
Steve.
right.
Yeah,
We're doing a Fight Before Christmas review with Steve and Sean
and Sean.
to have a
Yes,
look at the last, I guess, the last 2-day competitive event of the year. Hopefully, do some predictions, have a lot of fun, talking about what people are bringing. Um, yeah, looking forward to see how that tournament goes.
yes, correct. We are and not sure if we are going to do a wrap up for Force Victory Cup. Um, just maybe if one of the Mimilis get on the
Yeah, we'll
on
see which
once,
list wins.
yeah, how
We
the
might do a
Mimilis
short one.
goes.
I mean, if Nairi wins with her triple Wraith Knight, then I think we're
Has she got
talking.
the triple?
He's got 2. Oh no, it's Wraith Guard. It's Wraith Knight, the Scats
Yeah,
Wraith Knight, Wraith Guard, the Avatar, and a Wayleaper, Spirit Seer, and Shadow Spectres.
yes. It's one of similar to because I went for I had a list with three raid knights written down, but I thought it was going to be too much. Unless you were saying that the three knights, the three raid knights were sword and shield.
Sword and Shield. I told you to run that. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, I think for a future event.
Yeah, because they're under 500 points now. You can wrap it in Greston.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So yes, that's it pretty much, man.
All right, it's been a long episode. Thanks everyone. If you're still listening, thank you very much for listening. I know
Yes,
it's been a few weeks since we've put out an episode, but just you know took up so much time in the last couple of months getting everything prepped and sorted and a bit of planning for next year. So hopefully we've got
yes,
some exciting stuff to share around what we're doing next year. Tactical Chili.
yes. Next year we will be having new stuff. Good things are coming. We also are trying to work in collaboration with all the other people and clubs that wants to run events, and try to build a calendar for all of the New Zealand events, which it's amazing. Everybody has been so well, good reception to this idea. So yeah, hopefully we can um, bring all of that to all of the people here, and make more easy the access to the tournaments and events that we all run.
Yeah, I think after I think the fight before Christmas in Wellington is the last event of this year, and the
Yes,
confirmed events we have for next year at this point is Battle at the Vault in Rotorua. So one day
yes,
on January the 26th.
one
Might be
day.
a spicy one to go to if the detachments that they're releasing December are legal as they release them. Then we can all
Yes,
try out some of the new detachments. Um, and then there is OTT, which is in Hamilton, a 2 day, March 22nd, 23rd. So
correct.
keep those, save those dates in your calendar.
Those are
And
already confirmed dates. Do we have any confirmed date, Charlie?
we're trying to. Let's find a venue first before we confirm ours. We want to run one in February.
We have
But
the
yeah, we
date. The date is locked.
need to
The
confirm the venue.
difference. Well, the difference will be the numbers. We
Yeah.
have venues too.
Yeah. So
The
we're
date
looking
is
to
date.
run end of February, right? We'll
Yeah,
do that.
26 and 27 of February, we are going to be running a GT.
No, no,
Um,
22nd,
no?
23rd.
Oh, 22nd, 23rd. Sorry. Yes,
Last
it's
weekend of
the
Feb.
yes, the last weekend after the yeah, February, 14th of February.
Yeah.
That
We'll
one.
let everyone have their Valentine's days, back to schools,
Yes.
all of that stuff, and then let's get started. Get started with the tournament season with a bang.
Yes,
After
correct.
the, of course, we're looking forward to the January balance data sheet, which data slate, which will have a whole lot of new changes, I expect.
Will be a big impact there. But
Yeah,
yes, we will see how it goes. So yeah,
yeah. Maybe we
hoping
should do a pick a new year new army for Charlie to try and play.
New Year, New
Hey,
Army. Oh my God, this makes me so happy, Charlie. I'm reading the list for um, Jacob.
it
The
better
list
be a
of
Tesseract
Jacob.
Bolt. Better be two Tesseract Bolts.
The list of Jacob is Catan, the Deceiver, Nightbringer, Void Dragon, Silent King, um, Transcendent Catan, and the Tesseract Bolt.
Oh Lord,
Apparently,
this is
Ashley was spreading the word in the Hamilton community that needed to be a Mimi list. So they are committed apparently on that too.
oh Lord Ashley's Transport Grey Knights list.
Yes, this is stupid. But yes, okay. Thank you guys. I really hope that you enjoy the episode. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. That is one of the things that we trying to get on the next year. The number of subscribers going up, so we can do more fun things and more interesting things in the channel. So yeah, help us with that. Share with your friends, recommend the channel, and help us to grow this community. Good night, Charlie. Have a good one, my friend. Stay
I'm
spicy.
spacing out. Oof, this has been a long episode. I'm falling asleep.
Yes, excellent.
It's
Stay
been a great
spicy,
night.
bro. See ya.
Thanks.